know why I do that. Hello, everybody. You know, this tune that I'm playing as our opening, I realize it's not really very spring breaky, is it? But it's good. It's great. I'll tell you about this in a second. Let's just vibe out for a second. Hey, everybody. What's up, Cornell? Kilsane? Guys, let me tell you, we got some breaking news here in the stream. It's about the stream, I'm going to tell you. This stream, we are going out like we always do on YouTube, but we have a whole new avenue that we're going out to, hopefully. I'm hoping it's working. Tell me if it's working if you're watching on Twitch. We are now simultaneous streaming. Simul-streaming, is that what we call it? Simulcasting? On YouTube and Twitch. And this is a test because, you know, people have asked us in the past, like, oh, why aren't you on Twitch? Why aren't you on Twitch? And it's like, well, because we like YouTube, and I still think it's the best streaming platform for technical reasons. But for non-technical reasons, there's obviously a huge Twitch community. So we thought, you know what? We used to do it. We streamed on Twitch way back when, and I mean way back. And let's just do it again. And thankfully, the stream software that I use, shout out, this is not a paid promotion, but Ecamm, which I'm thrilled with, their most recent update allows for simultaneous streaming to multiple platforms. So we're testing it out. We're going out to Twitch and YouTube, and if that goes great, we might add others. We might go to Facebook at the same time. We might go to Twitter. I could stream to LinkedIn and Amazon and other weird things that I had never even heard of before. So, you know, let's try it out. Yeah, Chris, multi-stream activated. That's right. Oh wait, look at this. It's working. Thor Inside says it's working. A comment coming in from Twitch, and I see now that it also is giving you guys watching a little icon there to know who is commenting from where. So here's a little YouTube comment. So I would think the vast majority, since I haven't talked about this, the vast majority of our viewers today are going to be coming to us from YouTube like we always do. But it's going to be interesting to see over time. Maybe we cultivate both audiences, and there's some cool stuff. Twitch has, admittedly, one feature that I wish YouTube had. And maybe you tell me if I'm wrong and YouTube has it, but there's this feature where other channels, if they're not active and you are active, they can set it up so that they go, oh, well, if I'm not active, yeah, broadcast their channel to my followers, if that makes sense, you know? So like if you're a Reason artist, we could set up basically like a like for like exchange where if we're not active and you're streaming, well, we'll pump you out to our people. And if you're not if you're not streaming and we are streaming, we go out to your people. I think that's a really clever idea on Twitch's part. So, definitely something that we could do. Hey, Kawateri, welcome to Twitch. Thank you. I mean, it's funny because we were on Twitch, I don't know, 8-9 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. I don't know. I can't tell time anymore. It's plus or minus 3 years because of the pandemic. I just can't tell time anymore. There's like this 3-year margin of error in every time prediction I make. You know, it's like, how old is my nephew? He's 6 or 3. I can't remember. You know, we were on Twitch a long time ago, and then we kind of stopped because it was just a lot to manage. We had to choose: are we going to do a Twitch stream, or are we going to do a YouTube stream, and or a Facebook stream, or we were doing what was that other one? Ustream.tv. Oh man, that shout out if anyone remembers Music Making Month. So let's see what's going on here. I'm just looking over the comments here. Greetings from Ireland. Cool. And here's a question. Is Reza Studios, that's us, me, I guess, in my capacity here, accepting new sound designers for Reason Plus? I don't know if we are. I know that I know very little about that process. So let me, as I give you my insight, let me first put up front that I have very little insight about it. But the little insight I do from my long distance view, and by long distance, I mean 9,000 kilometers away, my understanding is that they go through sort of cycles where they sign on sound designers and they collect sound packs and they commission a bunch of great sound packs. They release them, but they get so many that they're like, oh, okay, we're good. So then they kind of go into a lower commission mode for a little while they've got this big reserve of sound packs, and they release those. And then as that starts to, kind of use itself up and get out there and get released, or sometimes there's other factors like, maybe there's a big new musical genre that takes the world by storm, as well, let's get that represented in the Reason Plus companion, or maybe we put out a new instrument or a new device and let's get that represented in the companion. There's things that will change that cycle, but that's my loose understanding. So a long way of answering you by saying, I don't know. Since everyone's mentioning where they're watching from, hello from Norway. Well, hello there, Filippo. I have been in Norway only once. Isn't that weird? I've been in Sweden more times than I can count, and if you add up all the amount of time I've been there, it's like years and years of my life that I've been in Sweden, and one time only to go to Norway, and not even like Oslo. I've not been to Oslo. I've been to somewhere way north, not Trondheim, but somewhere. Now I gotta go. Okay, we gotta do it. This whole stream has no agenda. Wait till I get to explaining that part to you. So why not just have me look up a map of Norway and find the name of the small town that I was in, because it was a cool small town and it was way up north. Let's see here. I'm on Google Maps. I'll recognize it when I see it. I hope. Where is it? Maybe it was Trondheim. I don't think it was Trondheim though. Isn't Trondheim like one of the big obvious ones? Maybe it was Trondheim. Okay, I'm going to say it was Trondheim now, and then I'll stop looking. Music. I saw someone. I didn't see it. And it's just the comment went away. Music Making Month. I was there. Remember the good old days of Music Making Month, guys? That was fun. For those that didn't know, back in 2010. Oh my God, time is flying by. But in 2010, I first started working with Reason Studios, then called Propellerhead. In fact, it was that long ago, and we did a thing called Music Making Month where we just set up live streams every day. The month of May, we live streamed every day. And in 2010, let me tell you, live streaming was not it's always a little bit chaotic, but it was really chaotic back then. We were doing weird stuff to make it work, and it did work, and it was fun. Hi from Costa Rica. Yeah. What is it? Pura Vida? Pura Vida? Is that what you say there? So yeah, let's see here. Oh, Philly. Let me tell you something, 4th Street. I am Philly born and raised. So, repping the 215, you bet. And then at some point in my childhood, I started repping the 610 because I was a suburb kid. But absolutely, Philly. I guess you're probably around 4th Street. So that's cool. David says, live streaming in 2010 is wonky. Yes, it was very, very wonky. And just good to see everybody here getting in here. We've got our first Twitch bot, and I don't even have a way to get in there and get rid of that person. So let's hope that the Twitch streaming doesn't require a ton of moderation. But anyway, okay, everyone's still looking at this. Fort Wayne's checking in, Cleveland. Fort Wayne, you guys you're home to Sweetwater, so maybe you have something to do with Sweetwater, or maybe not. I don't know. No, it is true, 4th Street, Philadelphia. To be precise, I was out in the burbs, sort of near Havertown. I was in Broomall. How's that for a local reference that no one else might understand? Even you might not. You might be like looking it up, going, "Where? Oh, okay, I see where he was." Sort of near Media, near Springfield. But anyway, guys, what are we doing here? I'm on a live stream and I'm rambling about the suburbs of Philadelphia and looking at a Norwegian map. What is going on? Let's talk about it. Why are we live streaming? Well, we're live streaming for the hell of it, really. I mean, that's honestly why we're live streaming. We always have so much fun when we're live streaming that we periodically go, hey, we should do that. Let's just do that. Rather than like wait for a perfect span of time when there's like, 6 or 7 months that we can set up a schedule and like when we should do that too. But, instead of waiting for the perfect moment to have like this long runway of live streams that we can plan, we just periodically just go like, just do one. What are you doing Monday? Do one on Monday. Just do a live stream. And so that's what I'm doing. I just thought I'd get on here really with you guys and hang out and talk to you and make some music. And I have a couple of different ideas for what we can do together, and how we can kind of use this time. And it could be as simple as like, I'm going to make some beats and you guys are going to watch and I'll kind of talk through what I'm doing while I do it. We could go into more chaotic things. Like I have the ability to throw up a Zoom call and get you guys on, or even to take, like I was thinking I could theoretically give out a link where I could take almost like radio style, like, the fourth caller, like, and bring you onto the stream and hang out with you. So let me know if you want to do that today. We could try that stuff. I'm kind of like open to just playing around and trying different things with the live stream format with you guys and just with you guys in general, just to kind of, I don't know, have fun. It's spring break. I don't even know if it is spring break. It's not spring break for me. Is it? Let me know in the comments. Is it spring break for you? Did we get it right? Is it actually spring break this week? Because I know my brother took my nephews up to some vacation-y place, which sounds like they're on spring break. So I think it is spring break. Here's some suggestions coming in from people. I have an idea for what to do today. Maybe synthesize reality? And somebody else, says, let's get real weird and tell us what the new device is. Guys, okay, let's talk about the new device insofar as to say that I can't talk about the new device. My goal, like this is, if you're watching today, if ever there were a stream for you to just hang out and watch the entire stream for one reason alone, it's that I'm going to put better than even odds that I screw up and let something out that I shouldn't about the new instrument. And I'm already, that is what it's going to be. It's going to be calling it by name because it has a name. So to me, it's not the new instrument. I have to like force that out when I talk about the new instrument. I have to like force that out of my brain rather than calling it by name. It's like, how, once you've had a kid and named it, how many times do you call it the child? The child goes to school. Hey, are you picking the child up? I don't know. Maybe you do that. I'm not a parent. I don't know what we do. But yeah, so I am not able to talk a ton about the new instrument. Outside of I guess what you guys know and have been speculating about from the teasers that we've released. And so, Seam says, I see you struggle, Ryan. You want to talk. You know what? I so do. Before the stream started, people were begging in the comment, the pre-stream comment section on YouTube. People were begging me to just spill the beans and just talk about the new instrument. And they were doing things like they were putting up like the prayer hand emojis, and I just was like, I don't have the constitution to like hold back on that stuff. I will crack. If you ever put me in a police interrogation room, I would be there. They would be like, can we get you something to drink? And I'm like, I did it. Okay. I admit it. I would crack so fast. But Russell, you can ask more questions about the new instrument. But I probably won't be able to talk about it. Ryan, you're psyching yourself into a confession. I know I'm trying. With all of this, I'm just laying the groundwork so that when I totally screw up and when I just go, oh my God, this is everything I know. Once I give up the ghost there, I can play back this part of the live stream for my, for the higher ups at Reason Studios and go, look, I really tried. This is called, what do they call, there's a name for this kind of thing. An alibi letter. That's what they call it in true crime. Sometimes when someone goes to commit a crime, they will write a letter all about how, like I'm trying to think of a good example. They'll write a letter, like either to the person they're about to commit the crime to, or to someone else, and they'll sort of say, like, I've thought long and hard about it, and I've realized that I was thinking about, robbing this person to get back what they owed me, or I was thinking about murdering this person, or what is awful crimes, I was thinking about it, but I've decided not to do it. Like, they deliberately write this letter about how they've come to the decision not to do it, and then they commit the crime, but you try and point to that letter, like, no, look, I didn't. Why would I have done it? I wrote a letter specifically saying I wasn't going to do it. So yeah, this opening is my my alibi letter. What is the first letter of the name? Come on, guys, don't torture me. Oh boy. But so I am curious, what you guys think from the teasers that you've seen and heard. Can we say? I think I can say and heard. There was some, if you haven't really tuned in, there were some comments in YouTube when we posted the first teaser. All of the teasers has the same little soundtrack thing. And there were some people that posted some comments. They were griping. They were like, come on, just show us how it sounds. And I posted a comment on one of those where I was like, what if I'm already doing that? What if that's already happening? So if you haven't listened closely, maybe that's something to go back and do. I will say the soundtrack is not 100% the new instrument. So maybe don't draw too many conclusions from everything you're hearing. But the new instrument is in that backing track for sure. So let's see what's going on here. David says, if you really paid attention on the latest teaser. Oh yeah, is there something big on the latest teaser that we gave away? I don't know. I think it's all cap and the device is no good. Yeah, you're entitled to your opinion there. I mean, I can't believe I get to use the phrase, but no cap, I think it's pretty good. No cap is not a phrase that rolls easily off my tongue, but I'm down with the kids. I can do it. Let's see what else is going on here. Someone says, is it the real visual in the last few seconds? The real visual. Not sure what that means. Is it the real visual in the last few seconds? You think you mean in the final teaser, because the last few seconds is a little different. Here's the real questions we want to know. Did you get a new banjo? Did I get a new banjo? Nothing super new. But the two that you're seeing there, where this way, where there, those two might be new to you. I don't know. I got a few banjos here. Okay, guys, let's my conclusion is the yellow mug is broken. Yellow mug's not broken. Yellow mug is here. But I ran out and I bought some coffee, so I got that. And you know what else I did? See, you guys, I was about to get us down to business. Now you guys got me distracted. I went out, I got a drink, like a little iced tea drink, and then I got coffee, and then I was like, you know what? I mean, in case we're on for a while, I'll get another coffee. So I've got a second coffee sitting off to the side here as my auxiliary coffee. But then I got home and I forgot this is the day they turned off the water in the building. So now all I have to drink is just various caffeinated drinks. So, hey, James Pember, I miss you too, James. James is a former Reason Studios, tears, James, to say former Reason Studios, but James moved back to Australia, and we miss him terribly. And I guess he misses at least me, not everybody. No, I'm sure he misses everybody as well. I'm just watching all this stuff. Your headphones are a very good choice. I'm a fan of these. These are the Audeze, whatever they're called, LC2 maybe, something like that. I can't remember model numbers. Very good though. I'll tell you, when I got them, I put them on. The backstory is the first headphones I used to use, I picked those headphones because they were the closest match to my monitors that I mix on, and so I could work in headphones and I could go to monitors and I wouldn't be surprised by how different things sounded. So I used that combination for a long time, and then those headphones died, and I got these, and all of a sudden I could hear way more top end in these, and I was like, uh-oh. But then I realized it's actually my monitor's fault. My tweeters are going out on my monitors, so they've lost a lot of high end. So I had matched headphones that didn't have a lot of high end because they sounded like my monitors that didn't have a lot of high end. But here I've been working with this like high end gap for a while, so these actually have helped clue me into that. Oh, well, let's just throw this up here. Huge thanks to Reason Support for recovering my file today. Those guys are the best. They are. They're just the best. I use them all the time myself. When I have problems, I just, I don't submit support tickets. I just send them a Slack message, but they're the best. They know everything. So I can't, I'm like you, when someone helps you, especially with file recovery, my God, you just want to like send them a box of chocolates or something. Thought this guy was supposed to be making music. All right, Song Fantasy. All right. Listen, let's talk about what we're doing here today, and let's start doing some of it, I guess. I was just hanging out. The truth is, Song Fantasy, that I'm hanging out with you guys today, and sometimes hanging out means we're going to do a little of this, and sometimes hanging out means we're going to make a little music, but I'll take it. I'll take the kick in the butt to get to a little bit of music making here, or at least a little bit of music listening here. Because here's my thinking. This is my very loose agenda. Is that I put a Dropbox link. I pinned a comment in the YouTube chat, and I also put it in the description on YouTube. I put a link to a Dropbox upload folder, and you can upload things to that. You could upload, I don't want to say anything because like don't fill up my computer, but you could upload finished songs, like a finished mix of a song, or you could upload a just a sample, like a little snippet of something that's coming from your end, or a beat that maybe has a few elements, but it's not, it's not finished. You could upload that kind of stuff. WAV files, aiff files, PCM audio files would be best. MP3 is okay. We'll take it. .reason files, please don't send them, because every time people do that, they forget to self-contained samples, and they have rack extensions I don't have installed, and they're running VSTs that I don't have, and so I try and open a Reason file, and we get into compatibility issues. So let's not go with Reason files, but audio files of stuff, put them up in there. Now, if you want to increase the likelihood that I'm going to flip through and kind of notice your thing, here's some stuff you can do to help me out. Put the BPM of the thing that you've put in there, and put the what it is. Is it a sample, a beat, or a song, or like a full song mix or whatever, full mix? Put that in the song file as well. So if I were to put something up on this Dropbox, I might go like sample 162 BPM, dog face fire beat, or whatever the name of the thing is. That would help me. If you want to put your name in there too, then I can shout you out as well. So, anyway, so I put that link in there. There's stuff already popping up in there. And I put that link in there, and I think if I audition stuff with you guys, you'll be able to hear what I'm auditioning. We're gonna figure this out together here. Like if I go ahead, just as a example, I'm gonna play Bass Phase featuring Kirsty Young. Tell me if you can hear this in the comments, just so I know that I'm correctly feeding you guys the same thing I'm hearing. Pretty sure you're getting that. Cool, you're getting the audio. Good.
You're starting a fire, fire, fire. You're starting a fire, fire, fire. You started a fire, fire, fire.
James, I'm loving this. How possible is it for you to get into some isolated stuff for this? Like, can you get that vocal to us that just says "It started a fire"? Just that on its own, that would be awesome if you can. Let me know in the comments if you're. Oh, hey, he says, yeah, I'll play my track. Yeah, James, good, you're out there. If you have the ability to kind of stem out some of this stuff, I'd love to get that vocal. I'm kind of thinking, like, maybe we'll actually just start with this as the first thing we're going to mess with, and maybe kind of build off of your. I guess I'm thinking maybe I'm feeling inspired to kind of do something of a remix. I guess some kind of vibey remix of what I've heard so far. I'm going to keep listening, but. This is just the first one. Guys, you've already got 55 other things in there for me to check out. Oh, man.
You started a fire, you started a fire. You started a fire in my head. Bring me to life, bring me to life. You started a fire. You started a fire in my head.
I started a fire, and it doesn't work. Doesn't roll off the tongue. It's a great track, James, I gotta say. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna flag that. And we might come back to that. Give me 1 second. Close this. And flag it. Okay, we're going to make that blue. I'll use labels. Let's just listen to some other stuff that's in here already. And so I should just mention one of the things about where this idea came about for this stream, of me just hanging out and kind of doing some real-time collaboration with you guys. It happened because of the last live stream I did with Chris Reed, where we were making a beat, and some people in the comments were like, hey, could I drop some bars on that? And they just wrote in real time while we were streaming. They wrote and recorded some rap vocals, put it on Dropbox, and we dropped it on the thing. It was like it was like, wow, like we can actually, like, the latency of live streaming is not too great that we can't actually be creating in the same moments and fusing those together on the live stream. So I may do that during the stream. I'm going to start with you guys. You're dropping some of the stuff in here. We'll listen to it, and we'll just kind of, part of this is just to kind of give you guys a little feature, and we all listen to what you're up to. But the other part of it is we'll find some material to start with, and then as we go, other people might be like, yo, wait, I've got a whatever. I got a guitar solo for that. I've got a bass drop that we could add here or whatever. And we'll try and, like, kind of fast track, loop those things into Dropbox and get them into the song. And anyway, yeah, that is a great one. And Chris is saying, yeah, they sent in some really great stuff last time. I agree, Chris. It was like game changing to know that the talent is on tap like that we can just go like, hey, send us something cool. And it's like, you guys can step up and, really send us some cool stuff. Let's check out some other stuff here while I'm just kind of looking into this folder here to see what else is going on. Owen Bloomfield, you caught my eye. Let's take a listen. Oh, okay.
I know that this was gonna be real hard. So many people told me right from the start. I've tried, and I've been so close. Nothing's gonna stop me now. I'm not afraid. I'm gonna put away my yesterdays. I'm not scared. I know that I'm not far away.
I'm seeing a thing here from you, James. Sorting out the vocal stem now. When you put it onto Dropbox, start the file name off with just capital letters, stem, for me, just to let me know. Okay? And then I will find it that way because I may not see your comment when you go, okay, it's uploaded, but I'll look for it there. Owen, I like what we got going here with Owen too. This is a nice little vibe in the beginning. And yeah, it seems I agree. Nice voice, nice guitar. Yeah. So Like that's the kind of thing I would throw in Mimic and start messing with those chords. In fact, let's see if we can. How close are our keys? Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, wait, where to go? Not that. No, here. Wait. That first chord. Na, 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 is James Locke. Na, 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 na. There's a common harmonic thing there. I don't know if they're the same key, but there's definitely a common tone there. Let me see here.
You started a fire.
Let's go back to Owen's song. Started a fire. Yeah. Should we do it? Should we mix Owen and James just because luck of the draw, the two kind of already go together? Let's explore that. I'm going to flag that one as blue too. Yes, I think that is what's happening there, Ramrouter. The modes intersect. I don't think they're in the same key. I think that they are modally related. Like one is in a minor key and the other one, dare I say, might be in Mixolydian, and there's enough of an overlap there, and the modality between the two that it's working. That could be right. Now, anyone who knows music theory more than me is going, "What? That you just said nonsense." No, but I think that might be what's going on here. David says G is the pop one. That's what it's in. David is in the key of G. Yeah, okay, people are saying do it now. Okay. You know what? Should we do it? I mean, I was going to go through it and listen to some more, but should we just start messing with this? Let's start messing with it. Why not? Okay? All right. I'm going to jump over into Reason here. Where's Reason? Here's Reason. Let's see. How do I want to do this? I want to start with a Mimic. And I'm going to reset it. No, not disconnect. Reset. Okay, still connected. Good. Okay, and let's get Owen's track in here. Oh wait, is that the right one? Yeah, I think so. And let's see here. Yep. And let's go to slice mode. And yeah, we're gonna ignore like mostly all of the song. And we're going to go over here. Let me see if I have both keyboards hooked up. It would be handy if I've got both keyboards hooked up. Hang on a second. Making space on my very cluttered desk. Oh boy. Making space because I have too many caffeinated drinks to juggle. Good. Okay, I've got my other keyboard hooked up. That's good. Then I don't have to reach behind myself all the time. Okay, so let's go to the... Where's... Is that the first slice? That's the first slice. Where's the next? Oh, there. Okay. Do we have? Oh, there we go. I'm gonna see if I can get this. That one that has that other. Well, let me just see what other slices there are. Let's try that. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to actually, I'm not flipping the sample so much that you go like, oh, I would have never known that's Owen's song. I'm actually trying to sort of capture the essence of his, but in a way that feels like a stuttered, juggled beat. That's my thinking so far. Let's get our tempo. I'm going to tap tempo this for a second. But I don't want to do it his. Oh, you know what I'll do? Let's get the tempo from James Locke's, and I'll roughly guesstimate it here. That might be too fast moving out when I do that. Okay. Yeah, that might be okay. Okay, so back up. Set my loop a little bigger there. I'm gonna turn on. I'm gonna talk through. Let me know in the comments if you guys don't want me talking through my process too much. But I'm just gonna mention I turned the pre button on down here, which gives me a 1-bar count in when I hit record. If people don't know that, that is a really handy way to have it not just start recording on you right away. So I might still miss the downbeat, but let's try it. I did miss it. I missed it because I got a text message from my mom. So, Mom, if you're watching, don't text message me. I'm on TV. All right, let's give this a shot. That's not the right one. Should we try again? Okay. I think that second one's the more right version. Quantize. Let's just no, I gotta get that one too. That one's early. Okay, fix that. Now okay, cool. So I'm gonna make that the very skeleton for the thing. Now, let's explore with some things. First of all, I'm gonna change the stretch type on Mimic to advanced so that I can attempt to pull the speed down. Now, why am I doing that? I'm not doing it because the note durations are going to be the same, but I'm doing it because as I speed it down, you're going to hear I'm deliberately accentuating the artifacts in the guitar. So take a listen. Got a third text message. Okay. I might have to shut my phone off. Okay, so I pull it back. You hear how it's like it's the same chords, it's just got a little more granularity to it. If I go even further, you'll hear it more. Hear that? Kind of cool. Maybe I'll even go for that even more granularity. Why not? Now I'm gonna mess with the amp envelope so that when I let go of the key, it's going to have a little bit of a fade out. So let's. Just a little bit. Is it? I wonder because I had that thought, but is it early? Am I? Oh, look at this. Johnny on the spot. There it is. Now it's actually, it doesn't feel touch late just because maybe because of the where the slice is. So let me move that slice and just see. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so that's where we're gonna start with our idea. I think the new instrument would go very well with this. You will never know because I actually remembered to uninstall it from my browser because there was a time I did a live stream before we released Friction and I forgot, and Friction was sitting over there in the browser and people on the stream were like, hey, what's that thing called Friction? I was like, oh no. And you guys took screenshots of it and then you went over onto the Reason Talk forum and you blew up the screenshot, even though you could hardly tell what it was. It was just smooshes of color and stuff. And you started going like, oh, okay. Ooh, wait. No. And you know what? Credit to the Reason Talk folks. You guys, you actually did figure it out. Like, you figured out that there was orchestral bodied shaped graphic on there and stuff. It was impressive. Okay. Now James says he sent the vocal. He sure did. At 174. Oh, I tapped tempo at 175. Okay, so we'll go to 174. We'll take his length. And let's bring it in here. And let's see. There's his vocals. Let's see what we got here. I think I saw a comment from him, from James, where he says, I'm sending you a vocal stem a dry vocal stem. So I'm expecting this one to be full of the effects.
You started a fire.
Sure is. Boy, loudness normalization is a thing.
Fire. You started a fire. Ring the alarm. Ring the alarm. You started a fire. You started a fire.
Hey, James, let us know in the comments. I just want to make sure that this isn't like a vocal, like a copyrighted thing that we're going to get flagged. Just do let me know that we're clear to be using this vocal. Like if you got it off Splice, that's fine. But I mean that like this isn't like from American Idol third runner up of season 20 or something, their album.
In my head, ring the alarm. Ring the alarm.
Okay.
You started a fire.
Okay. So I think the part I'm mostly interested in is the You Started a Fire button. But I'm going to wait for James to drop us that, the dry one. So I'm keeping my eye on the comments there, James. He says it's from Splice. It's okay. Yeah, Splice will be fine. That's fine. Drop me the dry one when it comes through there. Michael's already suggesting we run it through BVX. Maybe we will, Michael. But let's build out this what we got going on here and kind of get a little bit of a vibe going here. Okay, I gotta know, just so I'm not operating blind, what key we're in. So I'm gonna grab my guitar here. I think David said we're in G. First is definitely G. Yeah. Okay, so we're in G major. So we'll stay in G major. Why not? For me, now I don't know how other people figure that stuff out. I figure that out just from, I grab my guitar. It's the thing I'm most quick with. So I just grab my guitar. I assume I was probably in this little window doing it now. But I find sort of the tonic, and then I move around through that scale to make sure that scale, everything feels generally at home. Yeah. Rocky, G or E minor, correct. Same shizzle. That is true. It is the same shizzle. But it's there is a tonal difference between if we really leaned into the minor or we leaned into the major. And Owen's track here leans into the major, so we're gonna do that as well. James says dry vocal with me now. Let me go grab that while it's still here. Where is that? What did you call it? Stem vocal. Nope, 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 nope. Not seeing it, James, yet. Did we... Oh, I'm going to grab something else. Oh, I'm going to flag it. Michael Wood. I know Michael. If it's the same Michael, Merseyside Michael that I know. He's got a couple things in here. Michael's the kind of guy... Michael, if you're watching, you're the kind of guy that can, like, I bet on the fly add to this. Oh, see, now I'm seeing more of your stuff. You've got a similar sensibility to kind of the vibe of this already. So I'm going to... Oh, I'm just looking at some comments here. Can you use autotune to figure the key out? Yeah, I think you can. That might be what some people do. So James, yeah, I'm not seeing the dry vocal. So if you can let me know what name you called it, because I'm now looking for the word stem. I don't see it. And now I'm just scanning a big folder of stuff here to try and find it. So let me know what the stem dry vocal, that's what it was called. Oh yeah. Your story checks out. Okay, there it is. Well done. Okay, so I'm going to drag that into Reason, and I'm going to mute that for now, and just move that off to the side, and I'm going to make this twice as long, and let's get some more stuff happening here on Mimic. Okay, so I'm going to fill it out right now, just at first, with a little Plinky Plonky, because Plinky Plonky is good, or can be good. So what we're going to do is, I'm trying to hear music in my head while I talk. That's a weird thing to do. I'm going to drag on a player that some people haven't messed a lot with. So I thought I would mess with it with you guys here because I love quad note generator. And let me know in the comments if anyone who's a quad note generator lover or hater, or if you've tried it and you were confused by it. It plinks and plonks, and the plinks and plonks can be really, really useful. And I should say that I'm just experimenting here, so we could watch certain ideas crash and burn here, but I think it's gonna help fill out my sound here. So if I start playing, what you're gonna hear, in fact, I'll switch it over to, let's reset it. I'll set it to sequence, so it just plays when I hit the space bar. It's just going to play. That is not good music, but let's start by getting it into the right key. So we're going to put it into the key of G major. Oh, and here is my tip. Maybe the biggest tip I can give people. I'm going full screen for this tip. It's a big tip. We're going to put my big head on the screen. Chris says he uses it all the time. That's good. Some other people love pairing it with baseline generator. That's interesting. I haven't done too much with that. Just watched the tutorial, Paul Ortiz tutorial on quad yesterday. Oh, great. Here's the big tip I'm going to give you when you do the kind of plink plonks that I'm going to try to do and pair with this little guitar thing here is you can set it to the scale G major. And when you do that, you are going to have a pretty okay time most of the time, and then every now and again you're going to have a not okay time, and that's because there's certain tones within the G major scale that aren't going to work. A lot of the tones are going to work over the chords that we have here. I think we've got 3 chords, and they might be the 1, the 4, and the 5 chords, the kind of standard chords that you build progressions out of in G major. And most of the tones of G major, the scale, are going to work over those chords just fine. A couple of them aren't. And we can filter those out by changing the scale. Instead of G major, we can go G major pentatonic. And pentatonic is, instead of the 8 notes of the G major scale, it's just 5 notes, hence penta. And the 5 notes of the pentatonic scale, prove me wrong, someone, I'm sure there's an example you could point to, but generally speaking, the 5 notes of the pentatonic scale work over all the chords of G major, at least all the common chord progression chords you're going to use in a G major chord progression. And so if we set this to major pentatonic and in fact, to the key of G and major pentatonic without doing anything else, at least now we're in the key. And you can hear that nothing particularly offensive is happening. You know, I mean, nothing particularly exciting is happening, but nothing particularly offensive is happening either. So that's going to help us build out our plinky plonk. So I'm going to now just start messing about with quad note generator to get some more interesting plink plonk. And I'm going to stick with FM pluck here, but you know what I'm going to do? I might be getting ahead of myself by doing this, but I was going to put sweeper and reset, filter. Just make it a little rounder. Okay, so let's go back up here. James did not know about pentatonic. Yes, it's a really, really, really handy way. I mean, it's true. Now here's the flip side to the, like, you know, using that as a tip for something like this. It's great. If you write melodies and you only write melodies within the pentatonic scale, your melodies are going to get really boring. The notes that it's leaving out, those 3 notes that it's excising from the scale of regular G major, those are kind of interesting tones. So that's where a lot of melody and like the stepwise motion of melody comes from. So if you live and die by the pentatonic only, you're going to have some boring stuff. And if you've ever watched a totally deadly boring blues guitarist and it just feels like he's playing the same licks over and over again or in different parts of the neck, it's probably because it's not far off from that. It's literally the 5 pentatonic notes that are being kind of, it's like a safety net. So anyway, okay, let's get back to fleshing out our plinky plonk here. I'm going to change my output to one of the mono modes. Let's go here. Do this even slower. What I tend to do when the plinks and plonks are happening, I usually freeze a portion of the phrase. You can see here that I've got this little window that I can sweep, which will, if it's underneath this area, it's going to be the same every time it loops around, and if it's not, it's going to do its randomized stuff. And I tend to try and freeze a portion of the phrase so that your ear has something to kind of latch onto as an ostinato. So. Okay. Now let's get a delay on that. To you guys, by the way, breaking news over in the Reason World. The latest update. Have you seen that they've changed the... It's now alphabetical order for all devices, including... It used to be separated which devices were sort of add-on rack extensions and which were native. And now if you have the add-on, what might be considered add-on, something you bought in the Reason Studio shop, it now shows up all together here in alphabetical order. And I think that's a great change, but I'm also getting used to it. Because in my brain, I click effects and the echo is sitting right here. And now the echo is not there anymore. So I gotta go down here. Where are you, echo? There you are. Under the. Not sure if I agree with your alphabetization there, Reason Studios. But I want to put that one under echo? No, maybe not. This is a contentious argument that my brother and I used to have. My brother and I used to live together when we were in college, and we're gonna go back. This is a old man story hour here for a second. We used to have a CD collection, as you did pre-iPod days. So we had this like hundreds of CDs, and when we moved in together, they just all were one big collection. And periodically, they'd start getting a little mixed up, and you'd have them laying out, and it'd be time to clean up, and get things together. And I would go about putting them back into the CD case and putting them in alphabetically. And it drove my brother nuts because I would do all sorts of alphabetization things, like if it was a Pink Floyd CD, I put it under F for Floyd, like a surname, like Floyd, Pink. Zeppelin, Led Zeppelin, same thing. They went under Z. The bands. I think he was pro. I think he would say the Beatles would be under T for the Beatles. I put them under B for Beatles. So it was that was a very contentious bunch of arguing that we used to have over the correct alphabetization. And then, forget the fact that once we actually opened up one of those CDs, it was like a James Taylor CD that I just randomly stuck in there because I didn't know where it went. So it wasn't, it's hard times. Hard times, kiddos. You've got it easy with the Spotify playlists. Okay. Now, next order of business, I'm going to throw a little reverb on our thing here. See, now I got to go find RV7000. There it is. Okay. I'm going to get used to the new order, but it's going to take me a little getting used to. Okay. Let's hold there for enough of a moment to go back to this dry vocal and start mucking with that. Let's see what we're going to do with that. What are we going to do with this song, guys?
It started.
My God. Why must we run our vocal into the L2 maximizer squashed all the way down, people? Well, step one, let's get this vocal. I'll do it, you know what? I'm going to do it this way. I'll do it using the auxes. We're going to get this vocal going to a reverb. We're going to change the reverb to one that I like called Vox Subtle Plate, which is down here somewhere. There we go. And then I made a video years ago about vocal techniques, and one of the things that I always recommend, and I'm going to use a third-party rack extension for this, is the Selig de-esser. Running a de-esser before your vocal reverb is a really great way to get rid of some of the anytime there's a kind of sound, those can really cause a reverb to overreact. And so what I do is I put a I run a reverb. Excuse me, I run a de-esser. Before, in fact, to make it obvious, I'll put it up here so it goes in the visual chain. And so I'm going to go from instead of directly into the input of the reverb, I'm going to go into this de-esser, and then from the output of that de-esser into the input of the reverb. And now I can crank up the de-esser. We're still going to hear our reverb. It's going to sound like a reverb if we don't overdo it. It's just going to sound like a regular reverb, nothing weird, but it's going to be a little. You would notice it if we A-B'd it and got really kind of like nerdy about our critical listening. You would just hear, like in her vocal. Let me take a listen. I mean, her vocal's so normalized that you might not even hear it super much. But like you started, that S is going to be more. It's not going to get reverb, basically. But what is going to get reverb is the stuff that's not S, which is like fire, fire, which is what we actually want to kind of reverb. So, what the end result is that it often allows me to use more reverb than I otherwise would be able to without it just feeling way overpowered. Okay, now let's move this out of the way. And back this up. I don't want to be quite as. We might not need that one to go on the syncopated. Maybe we'll bump that here. Or should it go here? Let's check this out. Just go to the comments here. De-esser when the studio didn't put a wind gate on the mic. Yeah, you can do. I mean, different people have different. There are people that would be very against putting a windscreen on a mic in a studio setting because it's how do I describe this? It can be a uncontrolled way of putting a high pass filter on your vocal, and so there are those that would philosophically say, why not just high pass your vocal and control it that way, where you have control in the mix, rather than going, oh, you know what, that windscreen on her vocal, that windscreen takes off too much top end, but now we've recorded it and we can't, you can't get those frequencies back. But at the same time, if it works for you, do it. And there are times, I mean, I actually, literally the mic that I'm using for my live stream, there's a lot of people you'll see that take this windscreen. I'm going to make myself bigger. We're going big mode. There's a lot of people that take this windscreen off, and when they record like singing vocals, like in podcasts, you'll see this on the mic, but you'll often see this. Can I move it up? This rather ugly version of the SM7 in studio settings, and they do that because they just don't even want this amount of high end loss on the mic. I'm not one of those. When I record a vocal with someone, I want the sound of the SM7, and the windscreen's part of the sound of the SM7. So I can go both ways on that one. Okay, back to reason. Yeah, okay, I think it's. Now, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try this. My ear is telling me that this is one of those things where we could add chords. What am I doing? It's all out of order to me. There's no radical piano. My ear is telling me this is one of those things where we could change the underlying chord and keep the other stuff the same, and it will kind of have a like an ostinato feel to it. I could be wrong. We might watch this go down in flames together, guys. Let me put a scales and chords up here. I might go to chord sequencer, but I might not. Let's see. Let's just start here. Scales and chords, G major. I'll do octave down, make it open chords. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna be testing the theory here. We're gonna find out if this works or doesn't work here. For the sake of testing, I will repeat that. Is there anything else that needs repeating? No.
You started a fire, fire. 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 You started a fire, fire.
Oh, it's that.
Fire.
We might not hit that one yet. Hang on.
You started a You started a fire, fire. 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 You started a fire, fire.
No.
You started a fire.
You think so? Let's see if we can get out of the corner. One might say, I've started a fire. Let's see what we do. Let's see what we can do.
You started a fire.
That's nice.
Fire.
No.
You started a fire. Fire. You started a fire. Fire. You started a fire. Fire.
Okay, wait.
You started a fire. Fire. You started a fire. Fire.
Okay. We're gonna get there.
You started a fire. Fire. You started a fire. Fire.
Okay, I'm gonna do the second parts there. So we're gonna put that in, and I'm hearing it. We're gonna get there. I have faith in this. Sometimes having faith in the face of not right yet is bravery and smart, and sometimes it's foolishness. Can you repeat the fire and then have it drop down? Yeah, this is something. Thank you, Michael. This is something we haven't explored yet too. Is that we could also we can repitch the vocal a little bit. We might do that, but let me get that part of it in the second half. So.
You started a fire. Fire.
Okay, let me just do a little quantize. Okay, so
You started a fire.
is that where that goes? I feel like that's early. I feel like my quantize, my sense of it is. My sense of rhythm is like a little ahead of the beat, so I always get these. It always quantizes me back 1/16th note.
You started a fire. Fire.
Okay. Now let's figure out the first half.
You started a fire. Fire. You started.
Can I just do that? Can I just do an ascending thing? Oh, let me just get this. Have I shown the new synth yet? I have not. I will not be. I'm under strict personal orders for myself to not leak information about it yet. There's more information coming, but it's not going to be coming by way of me accidentally talking about the new instrument. I'm going to keep calling it the new instrument so that I don't accidentally call it, you know, whatever it's called, Potato Hat. It is not called. Let me just get that clear. It's not called Potato Hat. So, anyway, okay, you believe in it. Good. I'm glad someone believes it. Okay, let's go back here and get this harmonic thing going again.
You started a fire.
Oh, okay. Wait. Okay, I just want to mess with the first part. I'm hearing it.
You started a fire. You started a fire. You started a fire.
Can I do that?
You started a fire.
That's the one I don't like. But you know what we can do? Okay, I got a plan. I'm going to record something, and then we're going to fix it manually. Go down for last chord. Let it be resolved. Michael, if you were here, I would love for you to show me what you mean. We'll come back to that. But, whoops. I'm going to try manually editing this to see if I can get where I need to get.
You started a fire.
That is the wrong chord. But bear with me here. Let's quantize, and then let me make sure I didn't quantize myself early. I did not. Okay, so now here's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and join that clip, and I'm going to send those chords to track as MIDI, because now I can go in and fix that last chord that I don't like. That's just, I might even just get rid of it altogether, because I think maybe what I'm wanting it to do is like a suspension. What's the tone I'm wanting to hear? Yeah. Is that one happening anywhere else? Is there any? I think that is I think I've turned that into a ninth chord. Correct me if I'm wrong, people, but I think that's what's happening. Oh, wait, Mike, I see what you're saying. You want that to resolve, which I think is doing. Yeah, that's what you're wanting to resolve, is that the hanging, shall we call it the hanging chad? We may not resolve that through a full chord change, but maybe we'll do it through a little melodic thing here. I want two notes. These two notes? Wait. Oh, just one note is actually all I need. Okay, let me go back and get that again. Okay. So extend that.
You started a fire.
Oh, and I can do the same thing here. I can add in a little manual note. This? Trial and error. I need to go back here. Bing. We'll let this one ring out as well. I'll just stack that in there.
You started a fire. You
I'm going to hold that thought there with the chords for right now. Do a quick check-in on what's going on here. Very Death Cab. That's interesting. Freshness makes me wonder if there's if a way I can incorporate that based on what my interpretation of Death Cab is. But I know what you mean. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe we'll lean into that and see where we can go with this. Okay. Now, I wanted to jump over to, because I was saying there's something we didn't think about, is that we could repitch her vocal. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes that's bad. Let's see. So, fire, fire. Yeah, that's gonna work. Oh, sorry, to talk through what I'm doing here, because I'm in the pitch edit mode here. First of all, I'll just click the correct button to make sure that it's correctly analyzing, and we're gonna fix our pitch. So, but the other thing I'm doing here now, what just happened was, I heard it and I thought, okay, that's going to work, except that where she was going like this. And she does the scoop, fire. I'm exaggerating it, obviously, but she's doing that, yeah. And because she's doing that, yeah, up to the note, it effectively makes this note a little late. So if you listen now, it's doing this unnatural fire, like it doesn't fire. She's going in for the yeah, but she doesn't go up. She goes down. Fire. So listen. Here, I'm gonna actually solo it so we can hear it better. Hear that? Fire. So what I'm going to do is, if I hold down the Option key, which I think is Alt for you Windows folks, if I hold that down, I can change the boundary of where the note is. And keep in mind, in fact, here, see if we can how much of a teachable moment we can make this. If I don't do that, if I just kind of get near this boundary, if I do this, I'm actually warping the audio. I'm about to try and point at my screen like that's going to help. But if you look at the waveform that's above the MIDI notes there, about 2 inches up on the screen, you'll see that the audio itself is warping around. And that would actually change the timing. So it'd be dumb. Like, that's not what we want. So what I want to do is I want to hold down that Option key so that I'm not warping the audio. Now, if I move this, you can see that the audio waveform is staying absolutely the same. But what's moving is the analytical border between the two notes. And so I'm going to adjust just a little bit to find that right moment. And when I do this, I'm probably going to see that you can see that it's still confused as to what's happening on. It's like, but that's not what she sang, Ryan. So I'm going to have to kind of flatten her out a little bit to get that a little better. But let's see if we can. There we go. Now I can probably pull it up a little more. And maybe now I can also, now I'm not holding down Option. I'm going to drag that out just a little bit if I. Yeah, give it a little more space. Okay, let's hear it in context. Cool. You know, Doug, people do sleep on pitch edit mode, and boy, they shouldn't. You know, there was a very early build that I had where there was something happening. I'm going to tell a bad version of a story I can barely remember. Very, very early build I had of Reason 9, was it 9 or 9.5 whenever pitch edit mode came in? There was a very, very early version. And you know when new features come out, I'm just speaking as a Reason user here, not as a Reason Studios, you know, corporate entity representative, but as a Reason user, you know, sometimes new features or new updates come out and you haven't established trust yet with the new thing. So as a musician, you're like, is it doing that right? Is that correct? And so I had this moment where I pitched something in pitch edit mode and it kind of sounded like in a way where I wasn't trusting it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna jump over to Melodyne and see what this is supposed to sound like, kind of, you know, as this my view of this as the gold standard. And I went over to Melodyne and I pitched it, and it sounded worse and weirder. And the artifact thing I thought I was hearing was vastly accentuated. And I was like, wait a second. And I went back to ours and in pitch edit mode, and I was like, I think we might have a rival to the kind of quality you can get from things that I thought were the gold standard tools. And in that particular case, I ended up, it was a me thing. It was sort of these little tweaking tricks that I was showing you just before, like learning myself kind of where to, when I should be expecting the machine to do the thing that I want it to do, and when I need to help it understand what I want. So anyway, what I'm looking at. Oh, someone said, wait here, mine, Vegal's producer, they sleep on it because there are no scales or multi-lane. Fair enough. I mean, I'm sure there's great ideas over there in Stockholm for things they would love to add to it and do it. But anyway, let's jump back to making stuff. I'll just throw this out into the comments. If there's anybody that is has something they would like to try and add to this and drop into the Dropbox, I mean, we might be playing around with a little bit of collaborative stuff from you guys. But I think our next place we should go, right? I mean, I'm not wrong in saying this. It needs some drums, right?
You started a fire, You started a fire, You started a fire,
I'm going to do something else too. There's a little fladinky dunk in the here in our algorithm thing that I don't love. So I'm going to send it to track. We're going to manually pull one of those out too. Just one of them. It's like ba-dink donk, a little ba-dink-a-dink. Let's find it.
You started a fire,
There it is. Ba-dink bonk. I think it's this one I want to get rid of. Isn't that one I want to get rid of? Yeah.
You started a fire,
And that one again. I wonder if I can... Now that we've got that pulled out, let me go back and see. Is it just because I think I have one of these set up to... Let me hold on. I don't want to... I'm going to mute what I just bounced. Here, I've got this set to 3/16. If I go back to 1/8, does that solve it for us?
You started a fire.
Oh, it's in the freeze. Uh-oh. Can I get it out of the freeze? Let's see.
You started a fire, You started a fire,
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
You started a fire.
That's now it's different. It's it's now it's the 16th instead of, or a 16th, an 8th? No, an 8th. An 8th at our tempo. But not a 16th. So it doesn't feel like a weird badunk little flam thing. So, okay, so now we have two options. I can either use the one that we bounced, which was this,
You started a fire,
or I can use this one.
You started a fire.
I like that. I'm gonna stick with the one that's the real kind of coming real time ish from Quad Note Generator. So I'll leave that there. Look at you guys. Maybe with the new instrument we can make the drums. No. No. You are not gonna trick me into saying so. I nearly said something, and I'm not gonna say it. Nice try. You gotta get me before I've had a little less of this coffee. Okay. Michael agrees. That's better. Yes, it is better. Okay, cool. I could go for an amen break on this. I mean, it kind of actually could get, I mean, just here. I know it's not the amen break. Oh, I haven't saved this yet. Wait. Okay. If I go to, where is it? There's one Rex loop that's like the boom bap kind of standard Rex loop. Where is that? Dr. Rex drum loops. Bomb Squad. What is it called? No. That's the one. Oh, that's like the It Takes Two to Make a Thing Go Right. I don't think this will work over it.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
I mean, no, but it's not garbage. But it's not right. Okay, so that's right. As long as I've had coffee, you can't trick me. Unless I've had too much coffee, and then you are going to be able to trick me. If you check our YouTube channel, if you haven't heard, there is we have a new instrument arriving in May. It's going to be new. It's going to show up in the Reason Studio shop, and if you're a Reason Plus subscriber, it's going to show up in Reason Plus automatically for you. And look, I'll say this because I'm allowed to have an opinion. I don't think I'm leaking my opinion. It's cool. I like it. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this thing that I can't talk about. I think other people will like this thing I can't talk about. What does Ramrider say? Maybe it's the holy grail of reverse synth. It takes real world sounds, turns them into sine waves via an insane FFT algorithm to then be used as a patch. You know, some people are speculating, and I can't tell if they are DSP developers that are speaking about something they know about is possible, and I just go, oh wow, is that possible? Or if they're just kind of, no offense to you, Ramrider, are just sort of just talking out of like the, they could get like maybe an AI reverse FFT transfer to figure out the sine partials, and then maybe they could, take the overtones and resample them, and then that would be that's called a Zimzam synth. Like sometimes people will say these things like is that a thing or is that not a thing? Okay. Yes, MSCU, the MSCAB, the drums were way too heavy. Yes, let's put some nicer drums on this. So, I will do that via, let's see. I'll throw a Kong in here. I'm going to reset the Kong. Reset. And, I'm going to go into drum supply. There we go. Kong patches? No. Let's go to bass drums and let's find some kind of like something nice and soft and mellow. Maybe not 808, maybe 808, but maybe not. Maybe. I'm so far drawn to that. Let's see. Maybe. How much of our lives do we spend doing this? Here, subtle. I like the name of that. Okay, I'm going to drag that one in there. And for the sake of playing off of that, let me get something. Let me think here for a second. If I go to my refills, I've got this refill. I just love these. I don't think you can get these anymore, so I always feel a little guilty by... Maybe you can get them. The Art of Brushes from the Loop Loft. If you can't get... I will mention this. If you can't get the Art of Brushes from the Loop Loft's libraries anymore, which may be true because Native Instruments bought them, and then I don't know if they provide the same access in the same way that they used to. So if that's not the case... check out Yurt Rock, Y-U-R-T Rock, which is Ryan Gruss is the original creator and founder of Looploft, and he started a new sample library company. I betcha he's got some more brushes stuff because this stuff's great. So I'm going to look for kind of nice brush sample. Am I though? Where are they? Here we go. Oh, that's an Octorich pack. I want to get to the fill, to the loops themselves. Here we go. Oh, wait. Maybe. This might have. I'm looking for a snare, a kind of backbeat snare. Now, if people don't know this, in a Rex file, you can see Rex files, when they show up in the browser, they have this little disclosed triangle over here. And if you click the triangle there, you're going to get a bunch of slices. These are the individual slices from the Rex loop. So rather than, if I click on the main thing, I'm going to hear the whole Rex loop. But if I click here, I'm going to get just the slices. And this one, number 6, is just a snare. Hear that? So I'm going to drag that onto here. And let's take a listen to what else is here. Yeah, that's an interesting. Maybe. Maybe. I'm just grabbing things that might be interesting for. Okay, let's see here. Might be useful, might not be useful. Let's see. I'm going to turn up the volume for these as much as they go. Okay. And let me just see. I'm going to just see if I can kind of get some sort of hand drumming vibe going on this.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire. You started a fire,
Click.
fire. You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
Okay, I'm going to put down some of that. And we're going to flesh it out a little more. But so I'm actually going to play the drums rather than, at 174. We're actually going to be feeling this in a slower tempo. So let's do that.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
Okay.
You started a fire.
No, nobody has yet made the Ryan started the fire. And that is a now if anyone's watching internationally, I think it's safe to call that an American Office, the Office, the American version of the Office reference. It did not occur in the British version of the Office. So we might be starting an intercontinental war here. We might see the UK pull out of NATO from the insult of referencing the American Office over the British Office. But anybody. Anyway, yes, nobody I don't think has made that I've seen has made that direct reference to. It really was Ryan, wasn't it? Ryan the temp on the show. Ryan started the fire. It's even better than I thought it was.
You started a fire, fire.
Okay. I'm going to pull this back. Going to move that forward. What did I do? Oh, this guy. Get this back over here.
You started a fire,
question is, do we put that backbeat? I left that off when I played this.
You started a fire.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
You started a fire. Fire.
I'm gonna fill this. Oh, maybe we'll just fill with the same thing.
Fire. You started a fire. Fire.
Okay. Sorry, I've got my loop set up in a weird spot. Okay, now let's make another note lane and get some of this, whatever you want to call that. In on a tattoo, they would call that filigree. The stuff that's just like the little. Have you ever seen like on tattoos? You've got the main thing, and then you got the little. I have 0 tattoos. I'm about to like mansplain tattoos to the internet with none of them. But my understanding is there's the little, and people with tattoos tell me the filigree. It's like the little like adornment stuff, little extra lines and twirly whirls, like on the bottle of Jack Daniels, that stuff that goes like this frame that goes around the bottle. That would be called filigree. Okay, so now I'm going to work on whatever we want to call it. I'm going to put some of that stuff into as well. Let me just figure out kind of a pattern here.
You started a fire. Fire. 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 You started a fire.
Okay, yeah, we'll just put something on there like that. I'll do my best, and that'll be good enough.
You started a fire. Fire. You started a fire. Fire.
Not bad. Goofed up a little bit at the end, and goofed up a little bit at the beginning, so we'll take the middle part. Jumping in here, making a couple adjustments, getting ready to here, this guy. Quantized. Here. Where did it go? There it is. Okay. Let me get rid of that first part. Pull that part, gets a little bit wonked again, and that's still before the beat. Yep, that's okay. Okay, pull that back, duplicate it. Cool. Let me just check in here. I thought Adam. I thought Ryan would be a dark mode guy. Adam, I'm not there. I could tell a long story about this. I'm not going to tell a long story, but I'm so dark mode guy. I'm so dark mode guy that I was the butt of jokes at the office because do I go into this? Okay, I'm gonna kind of go into this, but in doing so, I'm gonna half take credit for something that I shouldn't take credit for. But I'm gonna half take credit for it. I go over to the office in Stockholm about 4 times a year. That's the usual schedule. Haven't been there in a while because of COVID, but normally in any other years, I used to go over there about 4 times a year. And when I go over there, I kind of like, I see things with sort of fresh eyes, or I just sometimes I see things I'm there for discussions I'm otherwise not around for. And I am walking by, I wish I could remember his name now, but I'm walking by one of the engineers' desks, and he's got Reason on his, it's back when Reason 8 was coming out. He's got Reason on his computer in dark mode. And I was like, what is this? oh my God, I'm so in love. And I was oogling at it. And it was a rather crude dark mode. It wasn't like the dark mode as we know it. I won't get into it. It was a very simple, like almost like a just invert colors kind of method of creating dark mode just to test it. And I was like, this is incredible. Is this going to be in Reason 8? I said, well, no, they had to kind of triage it out because there's too many other things that we're putting in there that we won't have time to get this dialed in right. And I was like, no, but like, and then I was no longer the Reason Studios guy. I was the Reason user who saw something that I desperately wanted. And I started going and talking to everybody that had any decision-making power whatsoever, going like, we got to put this dark mode in. It's nearly there. I saw it. It's on his computer. We got to have it. Like I work in dark spaces and other people do too. And that's why Photoshop and Adobe Suite is in dark mode and video editing is in dark mode. And we got to have dark mode and dark mode. And I was such a champion for dark mode that I started getting made fun of about it, and I was just seen as like dark mode guy, and everybody was like, hey, pump the brakes there, Harlan, all right, we hear you, and so now this is where I'm going to say I don't take credit for it from there on. That was just then they made their own decisions and evaluated the time it would take to implement it, and they got it back into the feature set, and they implemented the dark mode with the themes with blue and dark and all that, and I'm in love with them. But the other thing that we decided when we put them in was that light mode is the official look of Reason, and therefore, because I'm always showing Reason in official capacities on live streams and in videos, I'm ironically the one person that doesn't get to live in dark mode because it's I have to stay in light mode for the official look of Reason. So there you go. It's the way the world worked. But you know what? I feel in some sense it's like if I'm the martyr, if I'm the guy who never gets to have dark mode, but you guys all do, then I'm still happy. I can enjoy my version of light mode. Okay, there you go. This story needs its own movie trailer. Yeah. Amazing story, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm glad. I'm sure there's people out there that are waiting for me to just keep making music. They're like, yeah, okay, thanks, guy. Get back to it.
You started a fire.
Yeah, see, yeah.
You started a fire.
There's Ludwig. Ludwig in the office, over in the office there. Light mode rules. Ludwig was absolutely team light mode. And probably, I'm going to assume, if you didn't directly crack a couple of jokes at my expense, he definitely, giggled at a few that Matthias would have made. So anyway. Be careful, man. When I'm over there in the office and I walk around, if I see something cool on the screen, I'm going to freak out and I'm going to be like, we have to put this in Reason. It's fun being over there and seeing stuff that's in development because, you get to see it. I'm still just a Reason user, like I'm here kind of repping with Reason, but I just get excited like you guys do for these features. So anyway, okay. What did I do here? I did some kind of hi-hat thing.
You started a fire.
Right.
You started a fire.
Okay, now I'm going to jump over to the loop supply. Let's see, I kind of want just maybe just another little layer of something. No. No. Nope. Probably not. No. Maybe. I'm vaguely intrigued by that. Where did that go? There it is. Let me just drag that in. I can drag that directly into the sequencer as an audio file. And did it? Oh, it did. It already tempo adjusted it for me. Thank you, Reason. Yep. Okay, cool. Now let's make that not suck. So ways to make that not suck. We're going to add. Uh-oh. What's happening here? New buttons, new things are happening. I don't know this new version yet. Oh, I see. Oh, that's all right. Okay, you can put filters. Right. Okay, I get it. So if I want to not look at VSTs and just rack extensions, I'm learning on the fly with you guys. You guys see that? It's new in the latest download. That's handy. I like that. That means if I know I just want a VST, but those aren't VSTs. Oh, there you go. Okay, right. Okay. I digress. What was I doing? I was going. Oh yeah, right. I was gonna put a filter on this. Reset device.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
Okay, and now we're going to add a pulsar underneath that. And let's hook up our LFO. Someone out there is shouting, "You can do this inside Sweeper." I know you can, but I like my pulsar. Don't fault me. Briggs. Enjoying the stream? Oh, well, thank you very much. I see. Okay, I'm catching up on conversation here. Phaser on master always. Is that how I should roll? Just put the phaser on the master always. All right. Okay, so yeah, I do this with a pulsar because well, it's a little more visual and I don't know, I like it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to adjust the frequency. First of all, I want to make sure it's working. So I'm going to solo this. Definitely working. So now let's make it. I'm going to make it a ramp wave. And we're going to make it much slower. Maybe one measure? No. 2 measures? Turn up there. Yep. Now let's go get the echo. There we are. I'm gonna learn the new location of the echo, I swear. Let's throw that in line and reset that. And we'll put a little not that much. What do we want to do? Is it a 1/4 inch? A quarter note? There we go. So now we just have this, you know, it's kind of ebbing and flowing little percussive thing.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
You want to pitch it up? Yeah, you want to see what happens if we pitch it up? Let's do that. I assume when you say clicky clacky, you mean this.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire,
Higher?
fire. You started a fire,
I'm not sure I agree with your detective work there.
you started a fire, fire.
I could see it going 2 or 1. Let's take a listen to 1, up 1.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
Okay. In the interest of collaborative compromise, why don't we go with 1 there? Oh no. Okay. So, let's see what's going on here. Just looking in the comments here. Okay, we don't have bass on this. Let's get some bass on this. the bass. I mean, it's hard not to go to monotone. So let's go to monotone. And because my keyboard skills are exquisite, I'm going to put myself in G major, turn off chord mode. Okay, now let's take a listen here. What are we thinking for a bass, guys? What kind of thing are we thinking for a bass? I don't know. DJ Dark, yes, yeah, we're getting somewhere. See, we're getting somewhere. Now, like, look, I'm not the fastest. When I do these little hangout and make music streams, I know there's the Twitch guys and the proto stars of the world and those sort of people that they go quick. I mean, even Chris Reed Beats, watch his stuff and like, he's fast. I'm not fast, but I'm I don't know. I was gonna say I'm fun. I'm cute. I don't know. I don't have the word. I'm not fast, but I'm here. I'm what you got. I don't know. But yeah, they're fun to do. But and when we're getting somewhere, you see, we had to have a little bit of faith. We literally took the first two things I auditioned and we're mashing them together. Okay, so let's figure out a bass line here. And for the bass line, I'm thinking something that kind of has a nice sustain to it. I don't have it yet. I'm fully we could do maybe we'll go to Reason plus Companion. Would that might be a wise thing to do. Can I bring you with me if I go over to Reason plus Companion? Did you? Hey, look, we landed there together. Okay, cool. Let me just see if I throw up the bass and just see. Like sometimes there's good bass lines for pop. I wonder what Sean's got for sounds. I don't think this is right yet. No, that's not doing it for me. Okay, let's see. Atmospheric. Hang on. I wonder how I feel about that. I feel intrigued by that. That's not really where I was going, but just for a second, let's just throw that over to Reason and bring you back to Reason with me. Wait, where? Here? No, there. And what was that called again? Wait a second, hang on. Atmospheric drum and bass. Atmospheric drum and bass patches, and that was harmonic Reese bass. It's low. It's low and it's quiet. Let's go with Celia Gain to the rescue. Celia Gain to the rescue. We're gonna just kick this up. Okay. I gotta find. I'm gonna purposely, and this is my own ears, but I tend to find the right bass notes in octaves that are too high, because I can hear that better, and then I shift it down to the right octave. So. think that's right. I'm going to record that. I'll keep it up high and then I'll pitch shift it down.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
Jump up here. Quantize, and I'm going to shift this stuff down. Someone's saying hi. Hi, Kevin. Let's see, when I'm looking over here, is there anything I'm missing in the comments that's major? Subtractor. People, we're not done yet. We're not done with the bass. Don't worry. Because this is going to get real low and kind of dirgy. It's not going to be a bass line. It's more a sub thing. But so we've got this bass part. I'm just going to mention this now, in case people don't know. When I can drag these down, manually like that, but I can also select all these notes, and I can go up here to the note section, and if I type -12 and hit enter, it will jump down 1 octave. So that's 12 semitones. And I'll undo that for a second. If I instead type -24, that'll go 2 octaves down. And it's not just done to octaves. If I wanted to transpose this, let's say I was transposing a song up a minor third, which is 3 semitones. If I just go +3, it'll shift up all my notes 3 semitones. So that is a handy little way to group shift notes right here in the piano roll. So, now let me take a listen here. I gotta get the right octave. Might be too low. Okay. My first notes aren't right. I think I'm trying not to follow, but I think I have to follow what the piano does. Cool. I'm going to add in another effect here. This time, it's another version of a filter that I'm going to put in here. Where are you? Here, Scream 4. I don't know if anybody uses the 3-band EQ in Scream 4, but it can be really useful. I dragged this in without cabling it, so bear with me here while I do this manually. So we're going out of the combinator into Scream 4, out of Scream 4 into... Okay. So if I don't use the damage section and I don't use the body section, but just in the middle of Scream 4 here is this little like DJ, like on a DJ mixer, basically 3-band EQ. And it can be a nice way for me just to cut. What I want to cut is a little bit of just the growl in that bass. A little too much, especially when it goes higher. Listen. Turn this off. This is just off, bypassed. Here, listen. This is a bit much, so I'm going to pull that back. Some of that's in the mid frequency, so I'm pulling this down a little bit too. So that just rounds it off. It's just a different type of EQ. It has a different flavor, and it's just going to round off just the harsh edges that I think if I pull it back in now, it's going to poke out a little less when it goes higher. Just a little bit. Martin says cello. Martin, should we look into this? I'll throw a friction in here. Again, because my keyboard skills are world class, we're gonna. I do this. I should say this in a non-sarcastic way. I put a scales and chords when I'm working in the song that I'm working in. I put a scales and chords over a lot of things when I'm in creative mode, and it is true because. Sorry, I just saw the comment. How deep is that coffee cup? I know. And look, I have a whole nother. I mean, I've caffeine for days here. I'm going to be done this live stream, and then I'm just going to go bouncing off the walls. But my point was when I'm in creative mode, because I am not natively a piano player, I put now scales and chords just on always, so I don't have to think about the sharps and flats and stuff. It just lets me kind of operate in a way more creative mode. So, okay, let's go over here and we'll get a cello, soft cello. Cool. Cool. Let's pull that down. And I'm thinking of like a plucked. Although that's a little too much. Hang on a second. Should I do it dynamic cello? Maybe I want dynamic cello. I think I do. Yep. Great. Cool. And let's see here. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of ear thinking here, but I'm thinking just a little. It's like another type of plinky plonk, but maybe a little more, almost like because we have this bass sound that's just doing these long held notes. So maybe this is where our bass accents can come from. Maybe. Let's see. I'm gonna mute her vocal. Okay, I'm kind of messing about a little bit. I don't know if you can hear it. At some point, I'm going to need to worry about my main volume because I hear I'm distorting it now to you guys. But hang on, let's just tamper expectations. This track can use the new synth rack extension you guys are working on so we can get a first look at it. I know, David. Wouldn't that be a handy little thing we could do? But no, just to keep everyone's expectations, I'm not going to be showing the new synth. I know. I want to show it too, and you want to see it. I know. But we won't be doing that today. So now, I got to find it again. But I was starting to find a little part that was kind of like just a little motif that played off of the piano a little bit. Let's see here. Let me see. I would try to put, hang on a second. I would try to put an accent just between the vocals to fill the gap in between. You might be right. Let me first, let me get something in and then we might edit. That's a good idea. Let me find out what I was doing again. Okay, I recorded some parts. They're not right, and they're way off, and the velocity's wrong. Everything's wrong except we're gonna go in and modify it manually and make it right. So I'm doing that thing that what was the name? Gemini was suggesting about working off the gaps. So in the vocal stem, if I bring that back in, now we've got that's going in her in the break between her vocals there. I'm not going to leave it totally empty, but I'm going to do something very just simple, like 2 notes. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's. Bum bum dung 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 dum. I can hear it, but I can't sing it. Yeah, that's what I want. Bum 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 ba 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 bum. Okay. When is Matthias coming on? It's not coming. Are you waiting 2 hours for the triumphant arrival of Matthias? Matthias is going to be doing a live stream with me coming up in the calendar because, as you know, a lot of you know, we have, I'm going to call it by its not name, the new instrument, so I don't accidentally say its name. When that comes out, you better believe I'm bringing Matthias on to show you the new instrument. Okay. Yes. Call and answer. That's kind of what we're set up here. That is effectively the suggestion that came from. Oh, where is it again? I'm forgetting. Here. This comment. I would try to put an accent just between the vocals to fill the gap in between. Yep. So. And then. Bung bung bung. Bung 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 bung. Make that quiet velocity again. Bung. And then here we go. Dung dung. Quiet velocity again. Bung. Then we need to do another similar sparse thing here. What did I do there? Bunk, bunk, bunk. Just 3 notes. Yeah, so. Bung. Maybe I go. We're going to go down here. Bung. Maybe we'll go up here. Bung, bung, bung. Bung, bung. Here we go. Fill this gap. Bung, ba, bung. Bung, bung. I think this is, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh wait, hang on. Still seeing here. Can you include demo song templates with Reason plus sound packs? Feature request. Just catching up here in comments. You know what? Some folks in Stockholm are watching, so there, you've officially made a feature request. Someone said RFX. Wasn't it called Potato Hat? Yeah, no, it was. There was a spurious rumor that the device was called Potato Hat, put out in the world by someone who was trying to think of something other than what it's called. Let's see what else is going on here. Are we already using any new instruments? Well, it depends what version of Reason you're using. But maybe. We're not using the new instrument, as it were. No, we are not. And we won't be. Okay, so now let me know, guys, in the comments. There's this little 2-note thing here. I'll maybe we'll go via committee here. I'm thinking of pulling it out or changing it. Pokes out a little bit. Listen.
You started a fire.
Should probably go, right?
You started a fire.
I'm gonna mute those, and here's it without those two.
You started a fire. You started a fire.
Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Now I've created rumors that it's called The Instrument. It's not called The New Instrument or The Instrument. It's not that much I can confirm. Add a hang drum. That would be a nice texture for this. It would actually be nice. I don't know if I have a. I don't know. I don't know if I have. If I'm missing one in the factory sound bank that you can point me to, but I don't know that there is a great option that I can just pull up real quick. Oh God, you guys. Well, you make me laugh at least. Oh, someone says this. The first part open with the vocals and the cello feel like the outro to the new instrument announcement videos. I think what you're hearing there is 2 pieces of music created by myself, and so there's probably similar tonalities and stuff like that. Let's do some mixing here to fix up a little what's kind of getting a little bit messy and off here. So I'm going to turn down the main, or either should I put a? Let's go ahead and put a turn on the limiter so we get a little extra headroom.
You started a fire. You started a fire. You started a fire.
I'm gonna fix something else here. I don't think I want these in here. I'm gonna mute those as well. But I might come back to that. And we might do some other stuff to that cello to sit it into the mix a little bit. But let's
You started a fire.
turn up our lady.
You started a fire. You started a fire. You started a fire. You started a fire. You started.
One of you guys said there might be something hang drumish in Clang. I mean, I know there isn't a hang drum in Clang, but there might be something. It's what I think what we're all hearing is the desire for a sort of metallic but melodic texture, and Clang certainly does do that. That's a whole tangent I could go on in discussion about the shift that I'm hearing, and I don't know if you guys are hearing it in pop music as well. I listen to a lot of pop music, and there's this seems to be this sort of shift of like, whereas things 10 years ago were these really super pure, synth waveforms and oscillators and subtractive sounds. There's this like, I don't know if it's a people are sampling things more or what, but there's this little move towards more, I don't know what you call it, clanky sounds, metallic sounds. I'm not sure. But okay, let's see. Well, that's not our hang drum, but let's take a look here. I mean, that's almost. It's not. That's not hang drummy. Let me see. I'm trying to remember which ones there are that could be. That's no. That's the little plastic thing. Alto glockenspiel. Nope. Not hang drummy. Noah's bells. I guess that is. Yeah, that's. Ryan sounds like Ryan Hornsby. It does have a little Bruce Hornsby. Da-da-dung, da-da-dung, dung. Let's see. Should we play with this? It's not. It's got some atonal overtone that I'm not loving. Let's see what else there is. Oh wait, look at that icon. That sure looks hangish. Although, hello? That's definitely not hang. I'm looking to make sure I don't have some kind of like polyphonic. Is that in the sound itself? It might be. Let me check something else to make sure I'm not. Yeah, okay, that is in the sound itself. The sound itself has a little polyphonic something going on, which ain't gonna work for us. Okay, but let's do this. What's the other one? Clang and Humana and see now they used to all be together and I didn't. Oh, Pangea, that's it. Whew. This new alphabetical order thing. It's gonna get me. Okay, let me take a look here. There's something here that I thought might be possible. No, that's not the one. Oh, Kinderklavier, is that the one? No, that's the toy piano. Zitherette, no. Organ, no. None of the above. So, let me go back to Clang. And maybe we'll put the circle bells, I think was one of our closest. Yeah. We can work with that. We're gonna just do some filtering and stuff like that to make it work more. Oh, we'll just do none of the envelope. There we go. Okay. Amp is fine. Reverb. Do a lot of reverb. Perfect. Delay. More. Pull the time down. Okay. And let's see if we can, this does to our Bruce Hornsby song. The Bruce Hornsby mashup.
You started a fire, fire. 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 You started a fire. You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
Okay. Got a part, I think. Sparse, but let's try it.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
Okay, let's fix some stuff that didn't work there.
You started a fire, fire,
That.
fire.
think I'm gonna pull that note out.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
Okay. John Yo says let's try pulling it down in register. Let's try pulling the whole thing down an octave.
You started a fire, fire.
That wasn't a whole octave. What did I do there? Minus 12.
You started a fire.
Why is that not an octave? Minus 12. Am I just hearing the overtones in a weird way?
You started a fire, fire.
Yeah, weird.
You started a fire, fire.
Okay, weird. Check that out. If I pull these down an octave, we hear the overtone.
You started a fire, fire.
Hear that? Dang, dang, dang. We're picking up the wrong. Am I going crazy, or is that? Yeah, it's weird. That's like a whatever you call the opposite of an optical illusion, but it means that we can't pitch shift it. But this is one of those times when I can go for something I don't go to as often as I should, because maybe this will have some kind of cool effect. If we take the sound where the overtones aren't overpowering the fundamental, and then we artificially shift it down, maybe we end up with some kind of weird, cool sound. We'll know soon enough. Let's go ahead and solo this. So I think it's gonna work.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
Yeah.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
So isn't that interesting? I mean, can I just demo it again for people here? If we pitch shifted it in the real way by actually moving the notes down, the instrument itself, the overtones overpower the fundamental, and it actually sounds out of tune. This is what it sounds like.
You started a fire, fire.
Hear that?
You started a fire, fire.
Like that's just straight up wrong. So if we go up here,
You started a fire, fire.
now we're hearing the fundamental and not the overtone, which is great. But and I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was. This is just John. I think it was John Yo said, "Can we get this down an octave?" So we pull it down an octave using Polar instead, and we get the octave lower, but we get the right fundamental.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
Now, let's do a thing here with this.
You started
Where
a
is it? Where are you? Circular bells. Solo for a second. Go to the rack. I'm going to put a reverb underneath here. I'm going to put a third-party reverb because I love it. Adam Fielding turned me on to this, and boy, I do like this reverb. It is a just very long decay time reverb, but it's a digital reverb, and it has a nice sounding digital reverb. It has like a nice, it sounds digital. So I'm going to add it to this. We'll go ahead and solo. So here it's just it just sets it back, kind of sets it back into space a little bit more. put it in here again.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire. You started.
Now, let's do one last thing on those circular bells. Let's go ahead and audit their automation. No, let's edit their automation. Where did that go? Circular bells. And I'm going to do just a little, because this has a semicolon response feel to it, I'm going to do a little panning thing here where we'll set it off to the side.
You started a fire, fire.
And what did that go? Went 61, so I'm going to move the default down to minus 61, so it
You started.
jumps over to the other speaker.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
Sure, let's try that. A little pre-delay. So we have pre-delay on the Synapse, so we'll, for people that don't know, I'll just describe pre-delay real quick. Pre-delay in the real world, pre-delay is like the amount of time between the sound occurring and the first reflections of reverb coming back to you. So in general, the bigger the space you're in, the bigger that pre-delay will be. And if any of you live in a town, especially you guys in Europe that seem to have cathedrals all over the place, go into your local big church or big cathedral and clap your hands. And what you're going to hear is that it doesn't instantly come back to you. You're going to hear this like after wash of reverb where it's like, clap, wow, clap, whoa. Like it's kind of this, like it's an echo, but it's an echo of that is a wave of reverbs, and that's what pre-delay. So the suggestion that came from, and now I've lost it. Where was that thing about pre-delay? Oh, Jim. Jim said try some pre-delay, and he's wanting to hear a little bit of that wash. And I assume, Jim, if I'm not wrong, he's wanting to also create some separation, so we're not bathing the attack in reverb, but rather like having the attack be a little cleaner and then getting the reverb after the fact. So if I accentuate this, you'll hear that cathedral thing again, is like I'm talking about. Hear that? So when there's a single note, I'll just play a single note here. You're going to hear it go, ba-wah, ba-wah, ba-wah. Hear that? Single note. So we're not going to go that extreme, but close. We want to. There we go. Ba-dung, ba-dung. Try something like that.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
Let's tell me what you mean by the way I use faders. I don't know if I would say the way I'm using faders right now is the way I use faders, but it's also not entirely not the way I use faders. But my guess is that you're probably one of these people that operates like, in this kind of zone. And, hey, if it works for you, it works for you. I tend to not have a problem working in this way. I don't always work in exactly this way, but when I'm in one of these things where I'm just kind of creating on the fly, I tend to let my faders sit at unity and I go up from there as I need to. But as you can see with things like circular bells, sometimes I run into overhead issues if I do it that way. So I have to do a couple of other things. But I will tell you that there is nothing different between this and this other than where those graphics are sitting on your monitor. I made a whole video all about the way that audio handles inside of Reason and red line clipping and 64-bit and 32-bit floating point audio, and when should we worry about it and when should we not? And the answer is, in Reason, you don't need to worry about it until the very output fader, until literally, I'll show you, the only red light that matters in Reason is if I switch this to peak mode,
You started a fire.
this one right here. If you see this light peak, you're peaking. Anything else is open to interpretation. So
Fire. You started a fire. Fire.
so
You started.
you can see there that we are clean. We're getting a clean output, and so because of that, my fader game being the way it is right now, which is not exactly how I run things all the time, but it's not far off. Doesn't really matter. But I'm curious to know. Yeah, I think he's saying he's pulling them way up. Not hating, just not used to seeing that. Yeah, just let us know, Monk. I mean, everybody's got different styles. Let us know in the comments how you do it. But I will absolutely say that certainly in the DAW world, the fader game is different. You know, if I were doing a mix session on an actual physical console, I would be, starting with my faders at an entirely different level in terms of giving myself the right overhead. And I'd be thinking about things like gain structure that honestly you don't have to think about in Reason. So anyway, Michael, you're back. You haven't missed everything. No. But let's see. Has Ryan saved this project yet? Just in case he tries to automate the master fader. Does automating the master fader, is that a risky behavior? Is that, you tell me, is that, I haven't heard of that. I haven't experienced it. I haven't heard of it either. Fun fact, Ryan was not the audio engineer of AC/DC. That is a fun fact. I was not the audio engineer of AC/DC. Although the first studio that I ever interned at back in Philadelphia, when I was kind of up and coming, it was called Big Sky Audio. And shout out to Drew Raison at Big Sky. And I think, what's his new joint? Philadelphia Sound Studios, I think. Drew is, if anyone's from Philly or knows Drew Raison just in the industry, he was absolutely my Yoda and mentor, and really, I owe so much to him. But he used to let me hang out at his studio and just soak stuff up and learn. And then eventually he started a training class that I was like, I practically camped out at night to get tickets to, like a concert, what was my point? I don't know. Wait, I lost it. What were we talking about? Drew, his console, mixing, faders. It slipped away. Okay, well, so I'm officially old. Anyway, the overtones are still good. Yeah, there's a little bit of the overtone in it. It's not terrible, but it's still there a little bit.
You started a fire. Fire.
I'm not hearing it there.
You started a fire. Fire.
You know where I'm only hearing it, and it's almost not even necessary. It's that last note. So we can go bang bang ba-da.
You started a fire. Fire. You started a fire. Fire.
You know what else we can do too? Because I'm with you there. Where's that comment? Did I throw that up on screen or only read that? Still hearing the wrong overtones there. Let's throw in an algorithm, and let's layer. Let's put a more pure bell over top of it. And in terms of which one I use, let's just find a thing real quick. Banjo. Oh wait, that might work actually. No. No. Hang drum. How come nobody told me there was a hang drum in algorithm? Of course. Although it might not be right for us. It's a definitely an FM synth version of a hang drum. Okay. I'm less excited than I was by the... No. I actually might like that, but we're going to move on for a second. No. 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 Oh, you know what? Wait a second. Hold the phone. Let's not do it with a bell. Let's do it with a Rhodes. Ballad Rhodes. Where are you, Ballad Rhodes? Yeah. We're going to do it this way. Okay, now... what was that? Circle bells on the Ballad Rhodes. Let me solo Ballad Rhodes for a second. We're going to need to do a lot of work to make this not dumb, but hang on a second. Ba, 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 ba. Yes. Okay, so job 1, go up higher. So I'm doing that same thing I was talking about before. I'm lassoing the notes and I'm typing plus 24 to jump up 2 octaves. And then I'm going to turn the velocity way down. Great. Already doing better. Then let's make our note lengths nice and long. I could do this with sustain automation, but I'm lazy. So I'm going to do it this way. Great. And let me see. I'm going to turn up the tremolo, I think, a little more. Not that much, okay. Now let's bring in, well, let's actually unsolo. And let's mess about with layering those two together so that we're reinforcing the right harmonic there and sort of mitigating that overtone that you and I were both hearing.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
I got to remember that I did that pan automation. So let's do that pan automation for ballad too.
You started a fire, fire. 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 You started a fire.
Okay. We will... I'm toying with copying this and then just moving the whole thing down an octave as well. Let's try this. Why don't we? So for that, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Where does this go? That goes right there. Is that an octave? That is an octave. Let's take a listen. And I'm going to, this is just another talk while I'm doing it out loud thing. In case you don't know this, in the piano roll here, I want to pump up the velocity of the lower octave a little bit because just the nature of, I want to accentuate that lower octave a little bit via velocity. And if I were to just go in here with the pencil tool and start trying to draw velocity, I'm changing, you can see the colors changing on both layers at the same time. So that's not what we want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lasso the notes that I do want to change their velocity. And then I'm going to hold down I think it's the command key, which on Windows would then be the control key. And if I now change the velocity, here, I'll do it kind of extreme. You can see that the upper layer is staying the same, while the lower layer, only the notes that I've selected are being adjusted in velocity. So I'm going to kick their velocity up a little bit and take a listen to how that sounds. Yeah. It's really just a kind of a volume balancing trick. Okay. Take a listen to where we're at. Oh, no, I almost hit... No, say cancel.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
Okay. Gang. That might be where we leave it. And I say might be where we leave it because we've been on for nearly 3 hours, and I don't know. Maybe you guys got places to be, stuff to do. Maybe I do. I don't know. I think that's probably enough of a thing to have gone through. Let's, now for a second though, I just want to take a look. What didn't we choose? Because there's a whole folder of stuff that you guys threw in here, and we'll do more with these. The stuff you've uploaded here is not for naught, because we will do more with these things in future live streams. But let's take a listen here. Oh, here, the RAM router. He was active in the comments. Here's he put something in here. Oh, see, that's nice. I could have done stuff with that. What else is in here that we didn't work with? Strings and Roads, Chris Hamilton. Wait, breaking news. I'd syncopate that C on the 7th bar. 7th bar, C. Which C are we talking about? This C? But then syncopated to what degree? An 8th note? You'd put that here? Let's do it. I'll do it on the ballad roads as well. See what we think about this. Oh, hey, I like it. All right, I see what you're going for. I don't know if that's what you meant, but I'd syncopate that C on the 7th bar. Okay, it's got, there's something to that. Let's take a listen.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You started.
In a world where I'm not only working in an 8-bar loop, maybe when we were treating this as a full 16-bar chorus, maybe I'd do both. The first time you don't syncopate, or you do, and then the second time you don't. Not sure. But anyway, Michael's saying he wants me. Okay, let me go back into the folder. Check out We Can Be Together for some BVX fun. Oh, okay. Let's see here. We Can Be Together. Where are you, Michael Wood? Here we go. We can be together. Oh. We can be together. 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 Nice. Michael, let us know you're all in with BVX. So it sounds like you've got a good handle on that. It's got a nice, really nice full sound. I'm curious to what degree are you using the built-in synth? Are you running your own synth into it? Are these chords coming from your hands, or from scales and chords, or from chord sequencer? Or let us know a little bit. It sounds great though. So you guys are hanging out and shouting out your tunes. I'll play a few more before we jump off here. Listen to, what's it called? Oristost. let's go find Toast. I got Toast. Here it is. If anybody wants to know what a filter envelope sounds like, it sounds like this on a synth. Yeah, I'm bobbleheading. Sort of like, sort of the like Bollywood dancing. I can't do it, but they do like, I can't. Michael says he's using chord sequencer for the chords, built-in BVX. That was built-in synth. Cool. All right, let's check out a couple of others. Listen to Beyond at 140 BPM. Okay, Beyond. Let's check out Beyond. Yeah, I wanted, let's check out some of these because I grabbed the first two that I found and we went ahead and made music with that. So let's give you guys a little shine with some spotlight here. Nice. In my little preview here, normally I turn these down while I talk, but I don't have a fader there, so I just have to do a hard cut when I go talk. Michael Wood, pub lock-in vibes. That is where we're headed, right? Now we've hit the pub lock-in vibes of the evening, where it's like, well, I don't want. If I sign off, if I stop this live stream, you know what I have to do? I have to do like real work, like. I got other stuff on my to-do list. So, when is the new synth coming out? Gritch05. We have said May 2023. That is May of this year, in case we're still writing the wrong date on our checks, all of us. So yeah, May of this year is what we have said. And I don't think we've yet been more specific with the date. So therefore, I won't be more specific with the date. But May of this year. And yeah. Michael's liking that one. He says he wants to write to it. You know what, man? Like sample off the live stream and remix. I don't know. What's the new synth or when's the new synth? I answered the when. But yeah, Andrew, this. Oh man, $1 million question here, Andrew. Now the trick is, how do we turn an 8-bar loop into a song? My gosh, that's like the question for the ages. It's not, sometimes it's dead simple. Sometimes it is a absolute drudge to get out of that 8-bar mentality. Here's what I'll tell you. The way that I've been most successful in doing that is what I had going in Reason there, where I'm working vertically right now. I'm just adding. We added the Rhodes. We added the circular bell hang drum sort of thing. We added the cello. We were just like, we're stacking. And at some point, that is going to hit a point where it's just obscenely too packed with stuff. There's just too much going on. And maybe we're already there. Who knows? But that's a good place to be when you're working vertically in that brainstorm mode, because you can then, in fact, hang on. I don't think I can demo this super well with this version because we haven't filled it up as much as I might otherwise, but let's try. If I move this off to the side, Oh, wait, hang on. We're going to do this. Is there anything else? Oh, this thing here. Okay. So now we have everything except the vocal over here. Now, how do we get this into a more than 8 bars? The answer is that we stack it full of options and then we edit. We actually pull out. It's a subtractive process. So I might, I'm going to go a little bit. Let's just go experimental. Let's see. What happens if we were to start with just the piano? I'm muting sections here. What happens if we just the piano and that raga effects it's called that? Oh, you know what we're still getting as well? We are getting, well, let's leave it for now. We're also getting the quad note generator, but I don't hate it, so let's leave it in. Okay, now let's grab more. Oh, whoops. I'm gonna change my grid to good enough. Bar. And I'm gonna move this. How many do I need to do? Move it here and then here. And then let me grab this and fill in the gap. This is why people who love blocks, because this is a more, in blocks, this can be a more intuitive process than, not in blocks. Okay, so we've, maybe on the, after 4 bars, maybe I'm going to try and bring in this little guitar thing that we started with. Nope. Too fast. Too much development, too fast. Let's see, what else can we bring in? Can we bring maybe where is it? Circular bells? Oh no, Rhodes. Where's our Rhodes? Ballad Rhodes. That's the one. We bring that in, is that a nice development? Okay, yes. But this, I'm gonna not do the syncopation because in the absence of everything else, that syncopation can feel weird. So let's go more straight here. Now, okay, check this out. So let's, you know, for the sake of demoing, I'll keep going here just to show you. We've now automatic, if we did nothing else, if we just did that and then we went into the thing that we've been working on, we've doubled the length of our 8 bars to 16 bars. So congratulations, we're already out of the 8 bar problem, as it were. But let me go into my refills, and I have, where are these? Oh, Vengeance, risers, uplifters, and stuff. Let's grab one of these. They're these things. Okay. I'll drag one of those in here. Stop. Okay. I'm gonna drag that in here, and these are the, like, just white noise sweeps. And for the sake of speed here, rather than trying to make one with Thor or something like that, I'm just gonna drop it in and show you. What we can do is we can bring it in. Where do I want that to go? About there. Okay. So I'm going to bring it in, but I'm going to drag the clip handle so that it fades in. And then what we could do how do I want to do this? Do I do this with... I'm going to try something. This may be the wrong way to do it, but I'm going to do this like break, basically. And I'm going to solo. Let's name that something better. We'll call that riser. I'll go over to my mixer and I'm going to right click, choose edit automation for the solo button on the mixer. And I'm going to solo the riser track, but I've also trimmed it back, so it's actually not going to be there. So what we get could be interesting, could be bad. Let's take a listen. Sure, I might do some other stuff. We might fill that gap some other way, or maybe we could try making it an eighth note gap. Take a listen to that for a second. No, it would need to be the full gap. I might fill that in with something, but for now, this will illustrate the point. Now, another thing that works here, I'm going to go back to my Vengeance samples because they're quick and easy to demonstrate this with, is the counterpart to a riser is usually a downlifter or an impact or something that will give us, it's a type of crash cymbal type of impact. Hear that? So, Michael, is he thinking? He's thinking. Let's see what we, yeah. Let me bring in, let's see here a second. Let me go over here and bring in, let's say we're going to bring in our vocal here.
It started a fire, fire. It started a fire, fire.
And so it's probably going to be, Michael so interestingly and cleverly said, fill it with fire. And so let's just see which fire we want to fill it with. Hang on a second. In order to fill it with fire, we have to also add that to our... There's more efficient ways to do this, but I'm just going to add a solo automation for that fader as well, and then copy my clip up here.
Fire.
Okay. I think that's the one to do it with. That was absolutely. Where is it again? We got to throw it up on screen and give him his props. Michael, fill it with fire. When in doubt, fill it with fire. Absolutely the right call. That is exactly what we fill it with. And in fact, now it's what it's making me want to do is, let's go back to that vocal. And let's put a delay there. I'm in my mind now, it's going to do like a fire, and kind of bridge us into the rest of the song. Let's see if we can make that happen with the echo. So I'm going to reset the echo, turn down the dry wet. The type of delay that I'm going to use, I don't want this delay to be on except for only when I tell it to be on. So I'm going to change it from normal mode to triggered mode. And now I have to get the right timing, but and the right time, the right feedback, the right all that stuff. So let's let me solo and see if we can get this. Oh, I can't solo because we did solo automation. Derp to derp. Let's do it this way. So we need to go much slower on the... Is it all the way to a half? Might be. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, so I'm going to right-click the Edit Automation on that trig button, and I'm going to start by just turning it on the whole time for just this one word, and then it'll be off at all other times for the rest of our vocal. Now, oh, because again, okay. Now, before we bring that in with the song, the quality of the delay, I don't want it to be the full range, so I'm going to filter it so it's softer. Here are the delays now. It's fire, like more muffled. There we go. Okay, let's bring it in with everything else and hear what that does for the development. Yeah. Okay, but I need to turn it up, so I'm going quick here, so I'm doing things maybe not as I would do them if I were sitting home alone, but I'm going to turn up the tail portion of our vocal. And I'm going to we're going to turn up the feedback a little bit, and then I'm going to bring this up to counteract the decay of the echo. We're going to turn it up as it goes. Yeah, just gives us a little extra time there. Cool. Okay, cool. Now, what I might do is then again, we're thinking about places we could edit. Maybe when this comes in, we don't bring in the cello. Maybe we like everything else, but we hold off on the cello. So, just so you clue into what I'm going to pull out here, I'll play it with the cello for a second. This is our cello part, just to kind of calibrate our ears. And so we're going to, if we play it right now with it in there, you'll hear it do it. That bum 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 bum. But let's actually get rid of that, since that was written as a call and response to a vocal that's not there yet. So rather than have it happen there, let's not bring that in yet. Cool. And then maybe I would even, no, I'll leave it in there. Okay. Now, someone else said something. I want to just jump up here. Mimi's saying Reason's master bus compressor is better than most. Yes. I'm not using it, but you want to use it, Mimi? Let's turn it on. We'll do it. Master bus compression. The Master Bus 101, for anyone that doesn't know or use it. Why do we put a master bus compressor on our mix? We do it because it's the same concept as mastering, and it's a little bit of a esoteric concept to understand here. So let me try and describe it philosophically quickly, and then we're going to put it on. We have all these things happening in our production. They're individual things, circular bells and cello and the vocal, and we've got the sample, and we've granularized it. We put a piano on there, and we have a bass. And we have all these things happening, and they're all happening individually. And there's something that happens. It used to happen naturally by way of going on to analog tape. When you went on to analog tape, all of these things that had their own kind of thing going on would get this global dynamic fingerprint of the analog tape's compression happening just as a totally natural element of hitting tape. And so suddenly putting the same type of compression, I mean, you're not adding it as compression, but having the same type of compression dynamics result happen to all of your individual things in the same way gave this sort of gelling effect. It's just a natural thing that happens where you take a bunch of disparate, varied things and you apply it as a global setting, and it kind of just makes it all gel together. The same thing happens visually in Photoshop, and anyone who does Photoshop work knows if you're trying to composite, put one person in a picture with someone else, one of the quickest ways to make it look more realistic is to actually do the composite, put them into the picture, and then apply a grain effect to the whole picture. And by adding the same grain to two elements that weren't part of the same original picture, it tricks the eye. Same thing. Mastering and the master bus compressor and the analog tape mastering is this globalized thing that tricks the ear into making things sound more cohesive. And so as it just so happened that the master bus on the SSL consoles was coming into vogue at the same time that digital mastering was coming into vogue, and we were losing that cohesiveness that you get from analog tape master store, going to a 2-track analog master. We were losing that, and the SSL console had a really beautiful master bus compressor that not only sounded good, but it did the same cohesive thing. So that's my sort of vague history lesson as to the time and the context in which master bus compression came about and why it works the way it does. Now, in Reason, we have the same type of master bus compressor in the same spot. In fact, actually modeled after the SSL 9000J, 9000K, one of the SSL ones that was used as the reference point for the style and dynamic style of compression that we're modeling here. And so we turned it on. It's a subtle effect. Bear in mind, we're talking subtle here, but it does make a difference. Let me go to where the whole band is kicked in with the vocal and the whole thing. Oh, I hope that made sense. I always hesitate to talk too long, but then if I shorten it too much, it's like I've actually said nothing and talked for a long time. That's the worst of all worlds. Okay, so now the way that traditionally the master bus compressor is used is it's not a squashing compressor. It's not a really heavy-handed compressor. You're just tickling the compressor. You're just trying to get the compressor to activate itself. And so what I do is I turn on the compressor, I max out the threshold, and then I'm going to back off the threshold until I see the meter responding. And once I see the meter start to respond, I'm usually good. I don't go further than that. See it starting to wake up? That's all we need to do. All we need to do is, because again, remember, we're just giving our master bus, our master output, the same sort of dynamic fingerprint, dynamic compression fingerprint across all of our tracks. So we don't need to go heavy. In fact, if we went heavy, you'll hear that it sounds more like kind of an overblown cassette tape. Hear how that's like. No good. Hang on a second. Am I not even? I cannot believe it. I wasn't even showing you guys the Reason. Showing you my mug. All right, I'm back. It's here. Yes, thank you, 15 sign. Can't see your screen. But there we go. Now let me do all that again just so you can see it happen. I have the master bus turned on. I'm gonna dial back the threshold. I'm going to dial back this threshold until the meter starts reacting.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire. You started a fire, fire.
I gotta make sure I'm not being dumb here. Said you are still full screen? Am I still full screen? I'm pretty sure I'm not full screen. I feel like I'm looking at that comment with reason. Someone, make sure. I want to make sure you guys are seeing reason. So let me know you're seeing reason now on the screen. In fact, here, should we make it like even more no brainer? I'll do this. There we go. You can see the mixer. Okay, good. Okay, now here is our master bus. Okay, so you can see I've got the threshold here, just pulled back until it's moving.
You started a fire, fire.
Now, if I went to this extreme end, you're going to see the compressor really reacting, but you're also going to hear that it's lifeless and it's just no bueno.
You started a fire, fire.
Now, pulling back 8 dB on a compressor like an 1176 or something, that's not a lot of compression, but on the master bus, you hear it and you don't. It's not how it was kind of meant to be. So we're going for just gentle.
You started a fire, fire.
That's it.
You started a fire, fire. You started a fire.
And if I turn it off, it's like I said, it's subtle, but I'll turn it on and off, and you'll hear the difference. Hopefully, I mean, God knows what you hear over YouTube, but let's try it. Let's see I'll turn it on and off. You'll see it coming on and off, and hopefully you'll hear just a little bit of that cohesion, that glue, that little bit of kind of giving everything the same dynamic contour. It's abstract concept. If you can hear the difference and you can put it into words for yourself, that's great. That means you got good ears and you're doing some good advanced listening here. Let's start with it off. You hearing it? You hearing what it's doing there? Hopefully you hear it. Now it gets a little bit louder too. So, there's a little bit of your ears are going to play tricks on you a little bit, because it does get, a little bit louder with the makeup gain. And we could adjust for that and blah, 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 but let's not. Just, you can, take our word for it. Now, a quick question that came in here. Oh, yes, exactly, Michael. Before high definition, trying to do a zoom level like this on a stream. Oh, the dark ages. And as the video guy, let me tell you, I'm thankful every single day for Reason's high definition graphics. So there was a question that came in from I'm so sorry that I butchered this. Ojimene. I'm gonna go with Ojimene. Anyway, can you briefly explain the signal path at the top of the mixer and what that's all about? And you know what? Yeah, why not? Because I can do that. I think you're talking about this stuff here where it says Dyne, EQ, and insert, signal path, pre and post and all that. Yeah, let me see if I can explain that to you. How do I explain that to you? Let me do it first by going this way. So hi. Okay. This is an order of operations thing. When the signal travels through the mixer, does it go just literally top to bottom, or does it go in a different order? And the changing of that order can have impacts on the sound. So, Ojemine, if you're a guitarist, you will like instantly get this as a very obvious metaphor of thinking of your pedal board and the order that your effects go in. So to take extreme things, if you were to put your distortion first on a pedal board and then go into a delay and then go into a chorus, that has one type of sound to it. But if you were to put your chorus before the distortion, suddenly, instead of kind of getting this chorus to distortion, what you're actually getting is this chorus that you then crunch up. You're not shimmering a distortion, you're crunching a shimmer, if that makes sense. You know, that order of operations can profoundly affect the way that sounds. Inside of Reason, people probably know the difference between adding a delay, putting reverb on a delay versus adding delay to a reverb. If I put a delay after a reverb, then I'm delaying the reverb tail every time. Whereas if I do it the other way and I'm putting reverb on a delay, I'm going to get the reverb vibe, but I'm not delaying the reverb. The reverb is a natural emulation of reverb that's happening to an otherwise dry delaying signal. So if you've ever played with the order of operations of effects, great. Then this is going to become really clear to you in a second. These buttons, insert pre and dyne post EQ, all it's changing is the order of the, let me back out a little bit. All it's changing is the order that things move through the mixer. So right now, signals come into the mixer, and the first thing they do is they go into the onboard dynamics. And then the next thing they do is they go through the EQ section. And then the last thing they do is they go through the insert section, which is, where are you, inserts? Down here? Yes. They go through our insert section. So it's literally in the order that you see it. I'm scrolling the mixer here for it. So sound comes in, it goes through the dynamics, compressors, the gates. Then it goes through the EQ, and then it goes through the insert. Now, why would you want to change that? Well, you would want to change it because, just in the same way, but on a more subtle level, in the same way that putting a chorus after a distortion versus putting the chorus before the distortion, just in the same way that has a different sound to it, the same thing is true particularly for your dynamics and your EQ. If you compress something, and if anyone, jump into the comments and confirm this experience, if you compress something a lot, you can sort of lose the high end. It sort of squishes the high end out of it a little. I don't want to say quicker than the low end, but it happens. If you compress something a lot, you can lose the high end, and you can decide that if you flip the order, that won't happen. You're actually going to in the default setup, it goes through your dynamics, then it goes through your EQ, and you can then compensate for that. So if you lose a little high end, you can boost after the compressor. But if we instead swap that, so I'm going to click the dyne post EQ. Well, now we're going into the EQ first, then we're going into the dynamics, the compressor, and then we're going into the insert. Now we don't have the ability to compensate for that loss of high end. So you might say, well, why would you want to do that? Well, here's the other side of it. When you go into a compressor, sometimes things you might not want to factor into the compressor, the amount of compression that you're getting, sometimes frequencies you don't want it to be listening to certain frequencies. Simple example. Do I still have it? Yeah, guitar. Hang on. An acoustic guitar. If I'm doing a part, playing a strumming acoustic guitar part, like, in my song, I might only want the very top end part to be in the mix. It's like it's a texture. And all that low end that might be in my recording, I don't actually want that to be, it's like I'm going to EQ that out anyway. So if I'm going to EQ that out anyway, I don't want my compressor, my dynamic section, to be listening to that and factoring it into how much to compress, because it's irrelevant. So I could put the EQ before the dynamics, do that high end, the cutting out the low end and kind of making it my nice thin acoustic guitar texture. And then it goes into the compressor. And now the compressor is only responding to the frequencies I gave it. It's not responding to the full frequency. So, does that make sense? Dynamics pre-EQ does it the way that the mixer is set up, but I can flip it, and there's times like that you might want to flip it. And the same thing is true with this other button, which moves the inserts up ahead of the other two. So we could put the inserts as the very first thing. We could put the inserts as the very last thing. And if we do both, then we end up with the other variant where we go inserts, then EQ, then dynamics, which is, what is that? It's a total flip. Yeah, so that's just a total inversion. Wait, is it? Yeah, a total inversion of the default state. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that helped. It's not something that you do super often. I don't want to say don't think about it, don't do it ever, but it's not something you do super often. So, but that is when there are times where you would want to do it. So, let's see here. I saw a YouTube video that said it's better to EQ before insert, I think. I mean, my feeling is that I saw a YouTube vid that said ... and then we can find every opinion on earth, and there are different things. Mimi says, I like EQ before dynamics. Hey, more power to you, Mimi. Mimi makes some totally nasty, like a sort of pseudo acid, but more modern than, doesn't sound like 90s acid house, but like really kind of angry synth stuff that sounds great. And I could imagine that in your case, EQing before dynamics actually probably has a very important strategic decision, part of some of the stuff that I talked about. Oh, wait, I pronounced the name correctly for Gemini. Oh, is it a H, Ohemini? Ohemini? I think I'm doing it wrong again. I should have just taken the win when you said I pronounced it right, not trying to say it again. Oh my gosh. What's the best order for signal path? There's no one answer to that, but I will say the default ain't gonna do you wrong. So you don't, if you're, a lot of times with things like this, I tend to come from a very holistic, hands-off approach, which is that if you don't know the right way to do it and there's a default, the default has been put in place by people who have your best interest at heart. So you're generally safe to follow the whim of the default. It's not. I can tell you that decision and those buttons came by way of very deliberate ordering. So, okay, now, the J is softer. German. I don't know what a soft J. Like a yay? Yemeni? Yemeni? Is that what it'd be? Like the Y thing, the Swedish thing? I think Ryan is a body double for these marathons. I know, right? We got to get like what is that? What's the twin movie? I can't think of the twin movie now. It's got. I think I'm demonstrating for you that yes, my stamina is flagging. What's that twin movie where they switch places and it's got the Lindsay Lohan's in it from 15 years ago, 20 years ago, something like that. 30 years ago. God, I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. Let me just check in here with a couple other. Okay. So some people are getting it. Good. I hope that's making sense. And I'm looking here just to see if there's any other comments here. But just to jump back now to Reason for a second. Because really what we were doing here, if we before we got into that tangent was we had that question came in and said, how do you turn a song? How do you get out of the 8-bar syndrome? And now look what we've got. We've got a 32-bar. We've already got a 32-bar idea, and we still just have this one section, but we've now developed it. So we've got, you know, we play our intro, which is scaled back. Then we play a slightly more developed version. Then we bring in the vocal. Then we have a little 8 bars outro on the vocal, and it sounds like this. At this point, I would run into the like, oh well, we probably should have verse elements and stuff. Actually, we do. I'm not gonna go there and do it, but I think we do, don't we? Somewhere. Where did it go? Do I not have it? Oh, here. I feel like over here somewhere there's more vocals we could work with. I'm gonna just.
It started a fire in my head. Ring the alarm, ring the alarm. It started a fire. It started a fire in my head. Ring the alarm.
Yeah, so we've got some more vocals. I mean, that could easily get you, if you were just working with this, that could, you know, we could get out to 64 bars of development. Still on an A section only. If we come up with a B section, and now we've got even more that we can keep developing the song. So it's, you know, the answer to how do you get out of 8-bar syndrome is you just kind of do. You force yourself to. You build all these options, and I would keep going. Actually, I would keep building vertically first before I'm doing this. I would keep adding all these parts of like, oh, I could do this, and I could add a guitar, and I could add this, and I could add another little plinky plonky, and I could add a pad, and I could, you know, give myself all these options, not for them all to play at the same time, but so that I do have options, and then I can turn them on and off and develop the song. And if you listen to, when you get used to doing that, the thing that I think is sometimes fun is to then go and listen to some finished pop song and try and with your mind, try and listen to it backwards, because what you'll see is that process in place. The last chorus where it's repeating and like it feels like everything's happening, that's probably how it sounded in its 8-bar mode. But the first verse, when it sounds really sparse, that's not there. And then that second verse, there's that other little like click clack piano plonk like that comes in. Well, that's probably just one of those vertical layers. They turned that on, you know. So you can hear it when you get used to doing it. You can hear in songs that this is a standard way of working, that you build vertically and then you edit and then you build pieces in over time to make your full song. So, Mark says, needs more cowbell and banjo, doesn't it? I mean, is that not the answer to everything always, right? I mean, I don't know about the cowbell part. The banjo, like, right? I mean, can we all agree that the world would be better if we all only played banjo? I don't think I can even agree. I couldn't get that out of my mouth without disagreeing. Guys, I think we're going to wrap up here because, well, frankly, you know, it's funny. It was an hour ago when I said we were going to wrap up, and then we got that great question about how do you break out of 8-bar syndrome, and next thing you know, we're streaming another hour. That's the way it goes. That's how these things happen. We just hang out and questions come up, and you know, how can you not leave that hanging? So yes, a couple of comments here. Choruses will be the most dense. Everything comes in. That's pretty usually true. But anyway, I appreciate you, Dream Good. I think I appreciate everybody here who's been hanging out with us. Devin screams my name. Well, thank you, Devin. I'll scream yours back, Devin. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I really enjoy what we do here. I'm going to make a little, as we like to do here. We're going to make our outro music. Then I can have it play underneath me. Hopefully that mix is roughly correct. Guys, we're doing it. We're signing off here. This is the end of a 3.5-hour live stream. If anyone was with me the whole 3.5 hours, here's two things I can say about that. Number one, congrats, man. You've got as much stamina as I do. So, like, total props to you for sticking in. People who were... Oh, the other thing I can say is, oh my God, high five myself. I didn't leak information, I don't think, about the new instrument. I've been very careful not to talk about it this whole stream, not to mention it by name. I took it out of my browser in Reason so it wouldn't show up. And I think I did it. I think I made it through this live stream because, let me tell you, I've blown it in the past. There's other times that I've accidentally leaked product information on these live streams. I did it. Congratulations, me. Hooray. And listen, the bigger hooray is everybody who sent in music to work with for this session, and everybody who sent in suggestions. When you throw things in, like fill it with fire, we put that in that little gap, and pitch this down and syncopate this by an eighth note. All of these suggestions are so fun to do this collaboratively with you guys because you've got great ideas, and it's your ideas that really should be driving these music making sessions. I'm your mouse, but I feel like the collective audience is sitting next to me, and together, between the collective audience and me, we are collaborating to make these things. So thank you for chiming in. We'll do more of these streams because they're fun, and if you guys like them, we'll just keep doing more things like this where we just make music. I've done live streams where I have guests. I love those as well. We'll do more of those too. We'll have guests. We'll have Matthias on when we have Matthias on to explain the new instrument. But we can do things like this too, where it's like, because what happens when we do these sort of things is inevitably we end up talking about things like that dynamic before EQ before dynamics thing in the mixer, or we talk about the master bus compressor, or we talk about little shortcuts that people go, oh, I didn't know that. And so these music making streams become a way to watch someone's process and learn things you didn't know about a program you might have used for 20 years. And that happens to me too. If I watch someone else work in Reason, I go, wait, how did you do that? Oh, you right click and oh, wow. So anyway, it is a beautiful song, and that is courtesy of our two Owen and James Locke, who became unwilling mashup partners. They both provided wonderful material that inspired us and got us going, and so thanks to those guys, absolutely. Guys, all right, that is it. I'm going to sign off. I'll see you again for the next live stream. I'll see you again for the next video I put out. And until then, let's all go make some music. All right, take care, guys.